but that also includes playing great defense, and they haven't really done that as well. But at the same time, I mean, that was maybe the worst special teams performance that we've seen all year from any NFL team in general, right? We're talking missed field goals. We're talking botched punts of 15 yards. We're talking blocked punts for touchdowns. So I'm not trying to take anything away from the Indianapolis Colts because they played a great game and they deserve to win. But at the same time, I have a hard time seeing the Titans are going to ever lose like that again with so many special teams blunders.
Yeah, that's a good call because remember they started off the year with Gostkowski missing a bunch, and we wondered if they would even cut him. And then, of course, he nails in week 2 2 huge field goals against the Jaguars, of course. And now we might be thanking him. And then, obviously, more problems, not just with him, but the special teams in general. That will come back and get you sooner or later. I mean, doesn't that seem like sometimes there are themes of a season? And the fact that their season started off with the missed kicks, now at the midway point, we've got some problems on special teams. Don't you just have the sense that somewhere along the way at the end of the season, the Titans special teams, no matter who they have, is going to come back and hurt them? Remember, it was Indianapolis last year who was stuck with Vinatieri, and I think he basically blew 4 games for him.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you that those storylines can definitely follow you, especially something as big as a field goal kicker. But to be fair with Gostkowski, though, I mean, he has been kicking pretty well lately. Obviously, this last game wasn't his best. I wonder what's going to happen with that. I assume that they keep on riding with him just because, like I said, he was on a roll for a little bit here. But when it starts to get to, the playoffs and everything like that, and we're talking usually close, nail-biting games where every single field goal kick and every single extra point matters, I wonder how confident right now Mike Vrabel and the Titans are in their kicking situation.
Yeah, a little bit more about the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, is that's what they can be, right? Complete team. Rivers, all the different backs. I don't understand why they're not playing Jonathan Taylor more. I still don't know if I fully get that. But Hines obviously played very well. So that's interesting. They've got an offensive line they like, although I thought the defensive front of Tennessee and the short yardage situations really made them work. I mean, that wasn't a dominating offensive line performance. But Rivers was so efficient, so good. They didn't turn the ball over. And their defense, again, I mean, you don't think of the Indianapolis Colts from a defensive standpoint. You think Andrew Luck. You think Peyton Manning all those years. You think one of the things that held Peyton Manning back maybe was the defense that would give up a ton of yards rushing, right? They had some good defensive players. Freeney, Bob Sanders,
Mathis.
There's more of them. Say it again?
Mathis.
Oh, yeah, Mathis. So they've had some good players, but you never were worried about their defense. You were worried about specific players. Well, now they might have the best defense in the NFL. And in that game, also exposed a little bit is the fact that the Titans don't. The Titans have a very middle-of-the-road defense in 2020. The Colts might be one of the most complete teams when they're on, although a lot of teams can say that, I bet.
No, without a doubt. And it comes down to Phillip Rivers as well. Like, yes, Phillip Rivers had a great game last night. I think the help of Nyheim Hines in the run game really opened things up for them a little bit. The Titans are kind of an enigma of how they're running that offense right now because they just have 2 looks. They have like the jumbo package where they have 2 tight ends in. Obviously, you hand the ball to Derrick Henry, who ran decently well last night, and then you use play action to your tight ends, or else you go with the spread out package, and then Derrick Henry's not really on the field. Then you have like the other backers in there. And it's just weird how they kept on going jumbo, 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 and the game started to be out of hand, and all of a sudden, well, there's no more jumbo. Now it's the spread formation. Like, I can kind of get the sense right now, and I get A.J. Brown is a great receiver, and Corey Davis did all right last night, but, like, you can tell that this team runs through that 12 personnel with 2 tight ends. You can tell that once that 12 personnel is gone and they start spreading things out, regardless of what the numbers dictate with Ryan Tannehill or whatever you want to say, they are not themselves, and they don't look that comfortable running it.
We're going to get to the Jags, of course, we always do, Jags, Packers, and I need a roadmap here for the Jacksonville Jaguars on an upset. I'm not, again, we can sit here and debate whether they should win. I get the temperament in town. I understand. And by the way, I'm with most of you. But we still break down games and talk about games, and they're 2 touchdown underdogs. And so I do want to know, coming up, we're going to talk about it, and we'll give you the latest on Laviska Shenault in a moment. But I do want to know, like, what is the roadmap to beating a team like Green Bay? I mean, it's the NFL. We almost saw the Cowboys, who are really not good. I mean, I know they have some better players maybe than the Jags, but they're really not good. Almost beat Pittsburgh, really dominate that game against perhaps the best team in the NFL. I mean, the only undefeated team in the NFL. They just couldn't pull it off. So what's the roadmap? That's coming up in a moment.
Well, listen, I mean, I can spare you some time right now. The roadmap is for Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones to get COVID-19.
Yeah,
the end.
Call. All right, that's good. That's a way to kill a segment.
You got it.
I want to stay on the NFL, though, because, if you think about the Colts, maybe they did move up a little bit in terms of being a team that could contend, at least for a week. I think the Chiefs are still right there, and I just mentioned the Steelers are undefeated. What I'm asking you is, at least in the AFC for now, you're a Chiefs guy in terms of back-to-back Super Bowls. Do you still feel as strong about that, watching them play week to week, where they're at right now in the middle of the season, knowing that there's still a heck of a long way to go until January?
You asking me how I feel about the Chiefs right now?
Yeah, I want to know the teams that are the upper echelon teams that we thought would be good, might be good. Do you still believe in them the way you believed in them early on?
Yeah, without a doubt. Now, I get it. They don't have the perfect record. They have some losses underneath their belt. But I think you have probably, if not the second best, if not the best quarterback right now in the NFL and Patrick Mahomes. You have by far the most explosive offense in the NFL. And, when I see, how they compare to the Indianapolis Colts and how do they match up, yes, the Colts are playing great defense right now, and you can't take that away from them. But I think the road to beating the Chiefs revolves around manning up Travis Kelce, manning up Tyreek Hill, not giving up zone coverage, and the Colts run a lot of zone coverage. So if you ask me, in a head-to-head matchup, do I like the Chiefs or the Colts? I'm taking the Chiefs all day because even though the Colts defense is one of the best right now, I don't think their scheme can really match up to the Chiefs. I don't think a lot of schemes in the NFL can really match that Chiefs offense. And it's just you stop Tyreek Hill when you got Travis Kelce. You stop Travis Kelce, well, you got Mecole Hardman. You stop Mecole Hardman, then you got, they got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and you got Le'Veon Bell. You stop those guys, and then they got some draft pick out of some small school in the 5th round I've never heard of before, probably going to break off 3 touchdowns. They're that dynamic, they're that explosive, and they have a defense that I think can sustain, that can bend but not break as well.
Yeah, do you think they can afford an injury or two?
Depending the injuries. I mean, obviously on the offense, absolutely. If Kelce, I'm not on wood obviously here, but if one of their weapons was able to get hurt or whatever for whatever reason, I think they have the tools in place and they have the play calling in place to not skip a beat.
All right, well, let's stay on that theme because I'm going to give you 2 other teams that people believed in early on in the year, either before the season to make a run or maybe in the first couple of weeks of the season. I'm going to leave Tennessee out of it coming off the loss last night, even though they made the AFC Championship game. I'm going to go next to not the Steelers, by the way, because the Steelers weren't one of those teams that everybody's like, yeah, they're going to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Well, now they're sitting here undefeated, so that would be an easy, I believe in them. I get it. But what about the Baltimore Ravens? Do you believe in the Baltimore Ravens? Because I think you had them in the championship game, right? Ravens-Chiefs? I think a lot of people did. Even if you didn't, a lot of people did.
Yeah.
So do you believe in the Ravens, or are they more flawed in 2020 than you thought they'd be halfway through the year?
No, they're a lot more flawed than I thought they'd be, and that obviously starts at the most important position in the quarterback. I think Lamar Jackson this year is trying to make it a habit of being more of a pocket passer type guy, and when he's doing that, just for whatever reason, he doesn't look the most comfortable back there. I think he's missed a lot of open reads, and he hasn't used his legs as much as they asked him to use last year. Now, who's to say when the playoffs started, when you're getting towards the end of the season, that all of a sudden they up the intake of how many rushes he gets, and maybe that's the big thing. That's the big change. But I'm just saying, you got Mark Andrews, who really split on the scene last year a little bit. He hasn't really done anything this season. You have a run game which is solid, but it's kind of by committee. You got J.K. Dobbins, Mark Ingram, and then Gus Edwards. And, no one guy is the clear bell cow. Now, Mark Ingram's been hurt, and I assume when he comes back, he'll be that guy. But it seems like even he's kind of lost a step from last season a little bit, dealing with injury. So I think when you take into account the fact that your tight end play is down, your quarterback play, it's down, the running backs, you don't have the bell cow, and wide receivers, I get it. Willie Snead's making a name for himself, but you don't have that go-to wide receiver. When the game's on the line, they can't win track meets. So, no, I'm not really buying in the Baltimore Ravens right now.
Yeah, and it's, one note, too, and best wishes to our good buddy Calais Campbell. He will miss his first game this weekend since 2014. How about that? And if you're wondering how Calais is playing, I didn't know this until I read up on a bit more today. I just hadn't paid attention to the stats. He's got 4 sacks. He leads the team. with 4 sacks, which doesn't seem like a crazy number, but he does lead the team. And I think he also leads the team with 5 tackle for losses, I believe it was. So he's playing good football. And it'll be his first missed game. Talk about durability. I know he played through a lot of stuff here in Jacksonville. Those shows at Mellow Mushroom, man, he came in there and he was sore. No doubt about it. And hardly could sit on the stool sometimes to do the show. So you know that calf is hurting, and they want to rest him up for the test run, so or the stretch run. So best wishes to Calais Campbell. All right, last one I'll put in there. The Buffalo Bills. And I don't know if they deserve to be in here, but if you look at the first month of the year, they were on fire. Then I thought the last 4 games or so, they were like, okay, back to earth. People are figuring them out a little bit. Well, then they have a fantastic performance against a defense that really is not good in Seattle. The team is good, but the defense is not good. So where do you sit on the Bills? I mean, do you put them now the way Josh Allen's playing, the way they're calling games, the way they are? Do you put them there to contest the Kansas City Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl, maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers? Are they in that class?
I wouldn't put him in the tier 1 with Kansas City and Pittsburgh quite yet. Just because I thought and I had the Bills winning the division, obviously, but like I figured it would be done with their identity, which is playing solid defense, running the ball, and then using Josh Allen when they can. It's a lot like the Tennessee Titans, really, if you think about it. And this season, it hasn't been about that. It's been about Josh Allen, the use of his arm, and his ability with his legs as well. I thought you'd get a lot more out of the Buffalo Bills tight ends this year. I remember last year I was talking about they're going to be like the Baltimore Ravens of this year. I don't really see that. They're not playing the best defense either. I think they're a tier 2. I think they can definitely make some noise in the playoffs. I do believe in Josh Allen. I like the receiving game. I like the running game as well. But once again, it comes down to the defense, and that's kind of been the whole synopsis of this season is, listen, every offense is looking good this year, it seems like. But the defense is what's going to put you over in the playoff spots and carry you on to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So, hey, I'm not going to do the NFC. I just want to do that in the AFC because I thought there were some clear-cut teams, the Chiefs and the Ravens. And I think the Bills and the Titans are kind of in that mix. Well, here come the Steelers, right? They've now taken over for a lot of everybody. I think still people would put their money on the Chiefs. But the Steelers, you have to wonder, I mean, are they legit to win it all? I play the trend and that kind of thing. I just don't think the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl because I think somebody's going to knock them off. It's hard to do it 2 years in a row. And so I'll take the money on that side and say it's like taking the Field or Tiger, right?
Sure.
Where you got a lot of people that even in the heyday, and sometimes, by the way, it wasn't a smart move to take the Field.
Yeah.
So it might not be a smart move to take the Field in this case, but I am going to take them in the AFC against the Chiefs. We'll see how it plays out. But I'm not going to get in the NFC because I do think there are so many teams in the mix. If you were asked this question, yeah, the Saints have come to life, but Tampa's coming off a miserable performance. The Packers have been playing pretty good football overall, though they lost a couple weeks ago to Minnesota at home. I just think there's a lot more teams, if you take away the NFC East, that you could put in that category. And, well, quite frankly, I'm not going to break down the entire NFC.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I think right now you want to go to the NFC. It's really between, to me, you got the Seahawks and you got the Packers right now. Now, that can definitely change. But those are really the 2 teams to me that stand out. Like, yeah, you have the Rams kind of creeping along a little bit and, maybe the Cardinals. But to me, it's the Seahawks and the Packers right now. Yeah,
no doubt about it. So we will talk more about NFL big picture, including your fantasy teams. Coming up a little bit later on, we have our 6-pack of picks. There are some good games, including a Bills game that I think has an interesting line to it. We will pick that Cardinals game. Your guy, Kyler Murray, can he get a win this week because he didn't last week?
Well, once again, not his fault, but go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And then, of course, the Jags are coming up. Quick note, Laviska Shenault will not play in the game against Green Bay. I think, again, we're looking for the crazy bleep, right? We're still looking for it.
Yeah,
Unfortunately for all of us, some of that stuff I think had to do with number 10 and Laviska Shenault.
Of course.
And we're just not going to get to see it. So we have to wait to see what that was, and how it's going to work. There was some hope that he could play on Sunday. Turns out not. I tell you, they give us a kind of a sunshine and rainbows report on injuries on Monday, and then every time we get to Friday, it feels like those guys aren't playing.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I appreciate the positivity.
Sure,
but I feel like they're 0 for whatever in giving us positivity and then getting them to the game.
Yeah, I feel like anytime a guy's been on the fence if he's going to play or not, like you find out Friday he's not playing. Have fun with that. That's kind of the theme. It seems like of the team this year. Obviously, with Visca now being out, you can assume that Chris Conley would probably move into more of the role.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, I would think if I'm the Jags, I want to see Colin Johnson more involved though too.
Sure.
Right? I mean, Chris Conley's not a part of probably the next few years, and so sure, it will bump up his reps and I mean, he had 7 catches last week with Luton.
Yeah.
So he had a nice game last week. But I would like to see more Colin Johnson. I mean, come on, this second half is sure, try to win, do your best. I get it, all that stuff. But it's about seeing what you have in the young talent. I haven't seen enough out of Colin Johnson, and I would like to see more.
No, without a doubt. I mean, you got to think though as well. Like if you're not seeing Colin Johnson, it's probably for a reason, right? I mean, and I get it. We're getting towards the end of the season, nothing to win for. You want to evaluate your talent, but I just feel like a guy that big, and we saw him in training camp, and we both echoed that this guy looked absolutely fantastic. Maybe like the camp guy of the year, if you will. Yeah. It is a little baffling that they're not playing him that much. I wonder if it's just, he's picking along the position a little slower than expected, whatever the reason may be. But, man, when it's, 2nd and 10 or 3rd and 10 and you're in the red zone, how you can't go to that guy, I have no idea.
I do think he's been in the red zone, Austin. I just don't think they've been to the red zone that much in recent weeks.
That's a good point.
I don't want to say it like their offense hasn't done anything.
No, but
they haven't. Like they went through that stretch where they scored 14 points, 16 points. Like they weren't there all the time. And so I think that's the lack of productivity overall has caused a lack of productivity maybe with Colin Johnson too, because that's where you will use him most in that red zone. One note on Laviska Shenault, and I don't want to get anybody up in arms about it, and I don't want to start this narrative. I just think it's an interesting one to keep an eye on. It's okay to miss a game here or there, but the one red flag on him was that he got hurt in college. And so that's the one thing when he got drafted, people were like, I don't know, this guy's talented, but he gets hurt. And I think that might have been why he slipped to the second round, coming off his last year at Colorado. So you just don't want that to become a thing, So hopefully this thing heals up, keep him out for a game, get him back in there next week, because I still think one of the most entertaining parts of the Jags offense is how they use Laviska Shenault, and if we can cross some things off in Visca bingo. Yeah,
absolutely, man. It's must-see TV, right? Like, this guy's exciting. Where's he going to line up next? The slot? Under center? You don't know. Like, that's intriguing to watch the Jacksonville Jaguars still.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we're not going to – listen, we've broken down the Jags game. We know what the Jags are. But they are playing a football game, and they want to win, and they're 2-touchdown underdogs. Can you seriously make a case for how they would? It's the NFL, people. I mean, this isn't, McNeese State against Alabama.
This isn't Murray State taking on Louisville from 2011.
Yeah, so could they do it? Like, what do you want to see anyway out of this game? But what is there a roadmap to pulling off a stunner at Lambeau Field and being quite the memorable win for those guys on that roster and in that locker room if they could go up to Green Bay and get a W, even though it would only be win number 2 of the season. We'll talk about that when we come back. Got some Masters talk. Otis Anderson, Super Bowl champ Otis Anderson, will join us in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll have our picks. We've got a lot to get to. We're having fun on a Friday here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Pleasant temperatures tonight as skies become mostly clear. We'll drop into the upper 50s to lower 60s and a partly sunny Saturday. Highs in the low 80s inland, in the 70s at the beaches, and Sunday will be partly cloudy and warm. A few showers, but a lot of dry hours too, and highs in the low 80s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. It's Beard's Diamonds 40th anniversary sale. Save up to 40% off store-wide till November 30th.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
As the seasons change, there's one thing that never changes: the importance of clean drinking water. A Kinetico system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. Now that's clean, and that's also why our family has a Kinetico system from CGC Water. Yours can too. Right now, CGC Water is offering a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier softener. Kinetico Premier softeners are non-electric and have twin tanks, making them super efficient, saving you money. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Schedule your free water test today and get peace of mind knowing your family's water is safe water. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Remember, this is a limited time offer, a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier softener. Financing available with approved credit. Just call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia, CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
Transmission problems? Call Action Transmission Specialists on Merrill Road, where you get the work done right the first time by the experts. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. Our techs can service all makes and models, and we provide a nationwide warranty, so you have the peace of mind knowing we solve your transmission troubles fairly and honestly and guaranteed nationwide. Call us at Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road, where quality counts. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
We all know men tend to take their health for granted. Well, that has to change. Jacksonville Men's Health Coalition is hosting Man Up, a free virtual health summit this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. Man Up is a collaboration with AARP to focus on improving men's health outcomes, featuring former NFL player and two-time Super Bowl champion Otis Anderson, Food Network celebrity Chef Amadeus, and comedian Jen Weeks. Free hepatitis C and HIV testing available. For more information, email healthyjacksmen@gmail.com.
Hi, it's Nathan from Gordon Chevy in Orange Park. Used car values are at an all-time high, and new car prices have never been lower. This is a win-win for you because you get a great deal on a new car and a great value on your trade-in. It's like all the stars are in alignment. Listen, we'd love to show you a new Chevy, and we want your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Stop in today and let us show you how good it gets. Gordon Chevy, South Orange Park, on the money-saving end of Blanding, or online at gordonchevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
The pizza you'll soon be eating contains more than 55 years of tradition. Donato's Pizza started in Columbus, Ohio in 1963 with a commitment to serve delicious, fresh-made premium pizza. Donato's in Jax Beach is still proud to deliver their made-to-order, edge-to-edge goodness right to your door or at their convenient pickup window. Check out their unusually wide variety of options at 904donatos.com. It's no joke when they say they have something for everyone. That's 904donatos.com. Give it a try and see what you think.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At Lloyd's Construction and Consulting, we've been celebrating 10 years in business. Over the years, we've constructed thousands of projects in the Northeast Florida region. For commercial to residential, we handle each project with the respect and care it deserves. We look forward to speaking with you about your next construction project. Find out more at lloydsconstruction.net.
Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. But if you can't catch it, or if you want to go back and listen again, check out the Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 podcast. Just search ESPN 690 in your podcast app.
Brent Martineau.
There's 3 islands, and it can be very nice and lucrative, by the way. You could be a huge winner, but you could be a huge loser, too. You might not have a boat to get home.
Austin Lane.
Well, I like that, man. I love that analogy.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Obviously, a lot of us have been through this at some point in our careers, and I've seen it where it separates a team, and there's injuries, there's guys that don't practice, there's coaches that walk around with their head down. There's a lot of that, that has occurred when things like this go on, but I haven't seen that, and I still feel the same way. I mean, I told you guys I really, I love this team. I really do. I mean, I've got zero issues. These guys are going about their business and working hard, and That's not usually the case, especially, now.
That is Doug Marrone. And I'm going to jump off script right here because we really don't have a script here on this show.
Never.
But when I hear that soundbite, you know what just comes to mind as I tease what's next and our discussion point of what's next? I say this. Is this team getting used to losing?
Ooh, Brent.
And by the way, and I say that, and I say it without even knowing it, right? Because here's the deal. Brent Morton, Austin Lane, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. You got to separate what I'm saying here. You got to really take into account what I'm saying. I'm not saying they've been trying to lose. Their effort's bad. They want to lose. They don't care if they win or lose. That's not it. I think right now what the Jaguars are doing, at least on the outside world, because we've talked about this at length, is almost viewed as acceptable. It's like, hey, they've lost 7 in a row. They're not very good. Yes, we'd like to see some young talent do well, but if they lose and they end up with a franchise QB, the big picture of this, the Jag fan is starting to see and say, you know what, that's not bad. I wonder if that happens internally sometimes because if I'm Shad Khan, I'm thinking that way. I'm like, okay, big picture of this could work out okay down the road. This could flip it. Now that you're in the situation where you've lost 7 in a row. I'm not saying he tried to do it at the beginning or he was applauding that they were doing it at the beginning. I'm just saying once it turned for the worse and now they've lost 7 in a row, it's like, okay, I can see why people on the outside are saying, if we get that first guy or second guy in the draft, this could be a game changer. So I don't know if the front office, the scouts are doing that. I don't know. I don't think Dave Caldwell and Doug Marrone are doing that because I think they know their job's on the line if they don't start winning football games. I think guys in the locker room know, hey, your jobs are on the line every time you go out there. There's tape. There's the eye in the sky. It's important. You could be cut. You might not have another job. This could be worth a lot of money to you. All that stuff. But when I hear Doug Marrone say, hey, we're still, on task. We're still all together in this thing. There's no infighting. There's no this. There's no that. It's almost like it sounds like, okay, they kind of get what's happening in Jacksonville. And to me, I just wonder if they're getting used to it, Austin, because they have the excuse of being the youngest football team. They have an excuse of starting a 6th-round draft pick rookie quarterback right now for the second straight week. They have the excuse of going to Green Bay this week and playing a team that is a lot better than them, and they're not expected to win. I just wonder if that's crept in even to the back of their mind or their subconscious right now as a football team.
So when you say that they're getting used to losing, though, I mean, are you referring solely on Doug Marrone? Are you referring to the players in that locker room as well? I get what you were saying where, players are players and coaches got to coach to stay in the league and, Shad Khan's doing his own thing. But I guess what are you saying in terms of who are you talking about right now?
I'm saying it about the players because here's the deal. If I'm in that room, okay, if I'm on a baseball team in college – and our team is not doing well.
Yeah.
I'm pissed. And I'm throwing stuff against the wall. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? How are we going to fix this? And get your act in gear. Go work a little harder in BP, in the cage. Do a little something extra, whatever it might be. When I hear Doug Marrone say, hey, everybody's still in this thing together and blah, blah, blah. It's like it makes it seem like, and I'm not saying there hasn't been that, but it makes it seem like everybody, listen, there's no fights in there. Nobody's raising their voice in there. You don't have Jalen Ramsey anymore. You don't have Leonard Fournette to pout anymore. You don't have Yannick Ngakoue to go up and down and get in a fight with somebody because they don't like how they're playing anymore. So I just don't know. I wonder if they've almost accepted who they are.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think from the players' perspective, I spent 3 years here in Jacksonville. The first year we were close to going to the playoffs. Second year, obviously, was a nightmare. And the third year, it didn't go that well either. And, the third year, the last loss of the season felt just as bad as the first one when expectations were higher. Now, I think when you keep on losing game after game after game from the player's perspective, I don't want to say that you ever get used to losing. Because if that's the case, then why even play in the game in the first place?
Yeah.
Winning and losing is ingrained since you're in Pop Warner. That's the most important part. If you want to have fun, you win football games. So that's been ingrained even in the youth. So I don't think the players feel like that. But I do think that when you lose game after game after game, you almost expect something to go bad. Right, so I don't think you get used to losing. I think those players in that locker room, every time the game's over and they walk back as losers, that affects them. But I think that they're to the point now when they enter the field, like for instance, when they go to Lambeau on Sunday and they're getting warmed up and they see Aaron Rodgers, they see Aaron Jones, they see Devontae Adams, I think a thought could go through their head where it's like, man, how are we going to pull this one out?
Yeah.
So that's from the player's perspective. I think from the coach's perspective, with Doug Marrone especially, because we're kind of using his soundbite right now. Listen, Doug was very adamant about saying that he wanted to get his guys, the guys that wanted to buy in and the guys that reminded him of that Saints team back when he coached there that had a lot of success. Well, now we're to the point where they've won one game. Obviously, the season's gone down in the tank. And I think Doug Marrone, just in the phase of saving face for himself, he's got to say things like this. Because I don't think if you're a head coach, you want to, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't have let go of Calais Campbell. You know what? Maybe we shouldn't let go of A.J. Boye. You know what? Maybe we shouldn't have let go of Ronnie Harrison. Maybe we should have kept those guys. Like, that's the last thing that you want to say as a coach. So I think that when the season isn't going that well, or horrible, let's just say, and expectations aren't being reached, well, you gather the next best thing and say, you know what? Even though we're not winning a lot of games, these guys in the locker room, they're good guys.
Yeah, and they still love each other. They're playing for each other, that kind of thing. And listen, I want to be full. I want to be truthful here and say, one, I don't know if we don't know all of this because we're not in the locker room, right?
Yeah.
There is so much that you gain from being in the locker room from a feel. It feels sometimes when they're in a losing streak like this. Trust me, we've been around it. It feels like when you go in that locker room, it's like a morgue. All right.
Yeah.
Then there's other times when you go in that locker room and they're losing and you're like, have they literally lost 7 in a row? I mean, this team's still kind of trying to fight their way out of it. They're laughing a little bit. They're smiling. They're still having fun playing ball. And you can you can look at that two different ways. Like, do they care? No, it's more like, are they still loose, having fun, working towards something instead of bickering with each other? And then the other side of it is, Doug Marrone and Dave Caldwell, I think both said this year, we don't want drama. We don't want the drama. The Jets, when they're losing games earlier this year, they got Jamal Adams, who wants out. They got Le'Veon Bell saying, if you don't want to be with us, whatever. Then they've got Le'Veon Bell saying, I want out. The Jags don't have guys asking off the ship right now. And I don't really know if anybody's got the leverage to ask off the ship, but they don't have anybody asking off the ship. And so if they were, and if there was infighting, and if there are things we were hearing about and sideline eruptions, well then, truth be told, we'd be making that the big story.
Sure.
So I'm trying to see it from both sides. It just caught my attention, and I think it's a dangerous place to be in as a franchise, as a football team, as a locker room, when you're like, listen, because I think this, if you're good or not.
Mm-hmm.
They played well last week and lost. They're not good. And so I believe the players know they're not very good. But that still can't be acceptable. Right? If you're going to turn it, if you're going to change it, you have to have guys in there that say, listen, we got to fight out of this. We're doing some good things, but this is not acceptable. Like, you have to have people in there that say this is not acceptable. And I don't know who that would be right now in that locker room.
Yeah, it'd be hard. That's where you got to depend on your leadership. Guys like Miles Jack, even guys like Josh Allen, Joe Schobert. But even for Josh Allen and Joe Schobert, it's hard. Right, because they're still fairly new to this team. And listen, I don't disagree with your line of questioning here and asking, is this team comfortable losing now? Now, obviously, I spoke my piece, but let's be honest. The past decade, they've had, 1 year where it was a winning record? So, how could you not ask those type of questions? Like, how could fans not think right now, like, listen, you guys have not won a lot the past decade. Are you comfortable? Are you complacent? Are you stagnant? That is a legitimate question. All I know is when I played, that kind of verbiage in the locker room, it wouldn't fly. But on the outside looking in, it still warrants the question because not a lot of NFL teams this past decade, Brent, have gone through what the Jacksonville Jaguars have gone through. So it's kind of hard to put it in a category or compare to somebody else just because teams are, they're up, they're down. The Jaguars obviously have been a lot more down than up.
Yeah, and, I think it's easy. This is what I like to say about it. They're not trying to lose. They're not okay with losing. I wonder, as an organization, I think this is the fair question. Have they tried enough to win?
It's a good
right?
point. Yeah.
Have they tried? Are they trying enough to win this season? Did they make a move at the deadline? No.
Yeah.
Are they bringing kickers in that have kicked before? Sometimes, but not all the time.
Yeah.
Are they doing those things enough to win and create a winning culture? And right now, I just don't know if the answer to that is yes. And I think subconsciously that works in that locker room in a bad way. It's a subconscious thing. It's not a conscious thing. It's just a feel thing. And you have to ask, I do want my head coach yelling at the officials and chasing them down last week when they make a bad call. Mm-hmm. I do want some of my team leaders getting in somebody's face because they didn't do things right and they've been told 5 times to do it this way and they still aren't doing it that way.
Yeah. No, and I absolutely agree. I mean, like, at some point, someone's got to come forward and say, guys, I don't care what we have in this roster. This is unacceptable. And it's hard, though, Brent. See, it's hard to come around to your perspective, to my perspective, and to the fans' perspective if you're in that locker room right now, because a lot of those guys, they haven't gone through the past decade, right? I mean, this is the youngest team in the NFL. And,
they've got 7 wins on their resume.
Yeah.
I mean, 7 losses on their resume. That's it.
Exactly, and that's it. So it's hard for them to comprehend, to understand it. But at the same time, we always talk about teams like the Steelers, teams like the Packers, teams like the Seahawks, where there's an expectation to win. Like, if you're a rookie on the Steelers, rookie on the Seahawks, guess what? When you got drafted, I'm sure the expectation was you got to come in there and win games. Why? Because the past says so. Because they use the past as motivation. There's an expectation here. Why can't it be the same if you're losing all the time? Like, why, if you're a rookie, or why, if you're a second-year guy right now on this team and you want to have the excuse where it's like, whoa, I wasn't here 5 or 6 years ago. Why should I care? Well, guess what? That still follows you. Like, that's part of the brand that you work for right now. So you should care. You should take pride in trying to change it and being at the forefront of changing it. So I've never liked the excuse where it's like, well, I just got here. I don't know what's going on. Heck no. Because when you're winning, that's the excuse. So you can't have it both ways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, let's do this real quick. We don't need 10 minutes on this. Is there a roadmap for them to win?
Yeah.
I mean, outside of 4 turnovers and 2 pick sixes and all these things, I mean, I would assume you have to win the turnover battle against the Packers. You've got to win. And I said, I think you got to win it by 2. You've got to be +2 and do something with those turnovers.
Yeah, so, as I break down this Jaguars team and I go over the Packers games, and, I watched a bunch of them, seen a lot of highlights and things like that. I mean, I go back to a few weeks ago with the Minnesota Vikings, where obviously the Minnesota Vikings went into Lambeau and nobody expected them to win. Well, guess what? The Vikings won. And it was all because of Dalvin Cook. Now, with all due respect to James Robinson, he is not Dalvin Cook. Few are Dalvin Cook right now in this league. But I think that if you're able to control the clock and able to establish the run, which is, one of the most cliche sayings in the NFL, but it's true in this game especially, I think if you get a good dose of James Robinson, that's going to be a start. Now, it's not going to put you over the top, but that's going to be a start. The next thing that I kind of talked about this the entire week here a little bit is when we're talking about Green Bay's defense, they are vulnerable, right? I mean, they can get beat in a slew of ways, if you will. But the one thing where they really shine is taking the one receiver away. I don't have really the stats in front of me, but if you go back and look at one receivers playing on the Packers, playing against the Packers, they've had a lot of success. And a lot of that success comes from Jair Alexander, who's playing at a very high level right now. Well, he's going to be on DJ Chark. Hands down. I mean, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I stop DJ Chark and I say, what else you guys got for me? Going to be with Chris Conley? Going to beat me with Eifert, whoever's the tight end going to be? We'll see about that. But I'm stopping DJ Chark. So this is where I think Gruden's got to step up the IQ a little bit, and he talked about it in training camp, and he's got to put he's got to put Chark wherever he can put him. If it's in the slot where Alexander won't follow him, put him in the slot. If it's in motion, put him in motion. But to me, the game plan has to be to run the ball and then get DJ Chark the ball as much as possible and give him advantageous matchups against a baller like Jair Alexander.
Yeah, let's not overthink this. This goes all the way back really to what they did against the Colts. The Colts are a good team. The Colts are a team that's as good as the Packers maybe. And what did they do against the Colts? I'm not saying the Colts were playing like that in week 1. Well, they were, I believe, +2 in the turnovers, and they cashed them in. And they also shortened the game. Remember the Jags ran 49 plays in that game. Mm-hmm. So the Jags need to shorten the game. They need to have sustained drives. It's okay if they don't score 28 points, maybe. But they need to be efficient with their possessions, and that means James Robinson. The other part of this I like in what you just said, because of Alexander and Chark, and I love the other side.
Yeah.
I mean, hello, C.J. Henderson. If you want to start your second half of your rookie season in a good way, let's see you work against Devontae Adams, who right now might be the best in the game.
Yeah.
And so it's a tall task. I'm not saying you have to shut him down, but this could be a big moment for C.J. Henderson. And so the number one receivers in this game are there's some eyes on those guys. Let's just say they both wear 17, don't they? Adams 17.
Yeah. Yep. Adams 17. Yeah.
So watch number 17 and watch the guys defending him. Because once you get past number 17 on the guys on the outside, there's a drop-off for the Jags, and there's a big drop-off, by the way, for the Green Bay Packers, too.
Well, without a doubt. You know, and I wonder, do you double-team Adams going forward? Like, I mean, we'll see
They'll
how they
shade him.
Yeah,
They'll have to shade him.
You got to shade him. You know, Valdez-Scantling right now, I think he's the two guy. I mean, they have a bunch of two guys. But, you know, with all due respect to him, he does not scare me at all. But another big question, too, is Aaron Jones in the pass game. You know Aaron Jones is going to get his rushing yards against this Jaguars defensive line. But the real question comes in, can the linebacking core step up and, you know, man him up and not let him get loose in the pass game? Because if that's the case, well, then Aaron Rodgers is going to have a field day against this Jaguars defense.
Yeah, we'll do our picks a little bit later. And by the way, this isn't like, hey, you got to pick the Jags to win. No, we're all not going to pick the Jags to win. But the line is 13.5. Now, that makes it a little bit interesting, doesn't it? Have our picks in a bit. Give you a master update on the way. Otis Anderson joins us at 4 o'clock. So much to get to still on Friday. Hope you're doing well, enjoying the weekend, into the weekend. A beautiful day in Northeast Florida. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
At Friday the 13th, I'm Jake Mitchell. Thursday Night Football last night, Phillip Rivers and the Colts took the Titans to the woodshed, leaving the team tied for first place in the AFC South. Mike Vrabel may have seen this coming as he prepared on a short week.
I think preparation are two things that we talked about. Being able to win a game a few days ago, but also get into the preparation mode. I think those are the two biggest things that we can do on a short week is to hammer home the recovery and try to get them as much rest as we can, but also be able to practice and work. And
in baseball, the postseason will be handed out, and the MVP in the AL, White Sox first baseman Jose Brett Freeman takes home the NL MVP. Working from home and want to listen to ESPN? Tell your smart speaker to play ESPN 690.
High school football is back. Listen Friday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. for the Blitz High School Scoreboard Show. Presented by Honda of the Avenues. Action Sports Jax Brent Martineau takes you around Northeast Florida for up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from your favorite teams. The Blitz High School Scoreboard Show. Presented by Honda of the Avenues. Friday nights at 9 p.m. on ESPN 690.
When it comes to buying your next ride, everybody wants to save big. Well, you can with my friends at Arlington Toyota. Right now, they're having their 50% off pre-owned event. You heard right. You can save thousands when you pay up to 50% less MSRP on pre-owned at Arlington. And Arlington's got over 400 vehicles ready for you to choose from. You want to save on a Corolla? Get to Arlington where you can buy a pre-owned 2020 Corolla LE for just $11,991. Everybody loves Camrys. And with up to 50% less, you can get a pre-owned 2020 Camry SE from just $17,991. Now, if you love the RAV4, then get one and save big at Arlington, where a pre-owned 2020 RAV4 XLE can be yours from just $19,991. Leave it to the #1 volume Toyota dealer in Northeast Florida to also give you a 30-day exchange policy with your purchase. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. It's the 50% off pre-owned event happening right now at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota/50off for full offer details.
Attention licensed real estate agents. Are you looking to grow your business and add to your bottom line? Hello, my name's Steve Seckler. I'm the broker owner of Hometown Realty here in Jacksonville. At Hometown Realty, we specialize in lead generation for our agents. In just this past week, we handed our team members nearly 200 buyer and seller leads. We also train our agents on the value of property management. This strategy allows our team members to have a regular reoccurring income and a future pipeline of buyers and sellers. Not only can you depend on a high volume of leads, You can depend on a support structure, including transaction coordination and a broker that's available 24/7 to help you grow your business. So if adding lots of leads and growing your real estate career interests you, give me a call, Steve Seckler at Hometown Realty, 904-334-3985. Again, Steve Seckler, Hometown Realty, 904-334-3985.
Worthless warranties, slimy salespeople, shady subcontractors. It's no wonder people don't trust most roofing companies. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting LLC, we didn't trust them either. That's why we started our own roofing company. With more than 25 years of experience, we offer industry-leading warranties, simple, fair financing, and no subcontractors. Residential, commercial, even multifamily properties. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting, we've got you covered. Learn more at allproroofingllc.com.
It's never been done before. A diamond sale so big, it's been 40 years in the making.
It's Beard's Diamond's incredible 40th anniversary sale. Everything store-wide is on sale, up to an unbelievable 40% off.
Believe it.
Going on now until November 30th.
Now you can go even bigger and save thousands.
All designer settings, pendants, bracelets, earrings, engagement rings, even GIA certified loose diamonds. Everything store-wide is on sale, up to 40% off.
If you're getting married, celebrating an anniversary, or shopping early for the holidays, you do not miss this once-in-a-lifetime sale.
Nobody beats Beard's Diamonds prices.
Loose diamonds, mounted diamonds, diamond earrings, necklaces, and more.
Everything in the store is up to 40% off.
But hurry, these savings will only last until November 30th.
In the St. John's Town Center
or at beardsdiamonds.com.
We all know men tend to take their health for granted. Well, that has to change. Jacksonville Men's Health Coalition is hosting Man Up, a free virtual health summit this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. Man Up is a collaboration with AARP to focus on improving men's health outcomes, featuring former NFL player and two-time Super Bowl champion Otis Anderson, Food Network celebrity Chef Amadeus, and comedian Jen Weeks. Free hepatitis C and HIV testing available. For more information, email healthyjacksmen@gmail.com.
I'm Nora O'Donnell in Washington, D.C.
This is the moment.
The role of a journalist is to open the window into another world of experience. I feel an incredible responsibility. We have to make sure that we're right, that we're fair, but also bring Americans a greater understanding and hopefully bring Americans closer together. That's why I wanted to become a journalist.
The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell. Weeknights on CBS.
This is the moment.
Hey, it's Coos from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Now, I know there's a ton of ways you can listen to the show, but did you know one of the ways is through a smart speaker? Yes, the Google Home, the Amazon Alexa. It's pretty easy to do. Just tell either of them to play ESPN 690. Try it out weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m., and you can listen to Action Sports Jax.
The growing took place way before then. I think the growing in my life really started before last year, after my rookie year, and just not being happy with what I saw out of myself on the field, off the field, just things that needed changing. I credit my now wife for helping me throughout all that process. You know, with that growth, it just, for me, it was basically just being a man, making the right decisions, and standing on my word. Whatever I say, whatever I do, you know, whatever consequences or cause and effect, whatever you may say, I have to live with that. I have to go every day with that. So I'd rather put my best foot forward. So whatever, you know, trickles down from that, it'll be more manageable.
That is DJ Chark going a little deep there and talking more than just football, but now married on the bye week, has a daughter on the way, and life changes, man, right? Life comes at you fast.
Well, didn't he already have his daughter?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because
no. Yes.
Yeah, because he was rocking those new cleats. He had like the Baby Shark cartoon video thing on his cleats. I saw him post.
Yeah, it was. I think you're right. Now I'm all messed up. I remember I thought seeing like the what are those things called when you get the picture? When you're having a kid.
Photos.
Yeah.
Like the gram something, right? It's something that ends on a
it's
gram.
not Instagram.
It's not Instagram. No.
We're killing this right now.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, hey, it's been 5 years. I can't remember back that long.
I know.
Well,
hey,
it's been
15 for me.
There you go. Right? Well, you had 2 of them, though.
I know.
Yeah.
But it was like the greatest part, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's when you get into the picture. Hey, look, so.
I got to try to find this. It's going to drive me crazy.
Find out. Double check now, because now I'm confused. I can't remember if he's having or has had. But
I'm
either
pretty
way,
sure he's okay. But go on.
Either way, life changes, and DJ Chark, who's a young man anyway, young player, talking about just things, putting it in perspective, and how things at home have helped him. Settle down. Real quick, I want to
ultrasound. By the way, I was way off. Ultrasound images.
Ultrasound.
Yeah.
There you go. Real quick though, did you see what the Marlins hired a female general manager? Kim Ang is her name, I believe.
Yeah.
And first one in professional sports in North America, at any sport, but in Major League Baseball. That is pretty cool what the Marlins are doing. I think it's awesome. I've got a daughter, obviously, and she loves sports. And I've said that to myself before, said it to her. It's like, if you want to, by the time you get out of school, someday down the road in your professional career, want to get into sports, this is an opportunity for young girls and women.
No, without a doubt. I mean, it's it's a monumental day for everyone alike. I mean, it's groundbreaking, it's history, and it's awesome. It's very cool to see. It's probably been a long time coming. And like, if you read her, what she's like, how she's worked up her way and everything like that in her resume.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive. So regardless of, if she's male or female, I think if you're a Marlins fan right now, you got to like what you got at GM regardless.
Well, and the reaction around the league is really cool. Like, we don't know her very well. We don't know her resume very well, but it's well received in Major League Baseball. She has earned every bit of this opportunity, and I'm rooting for her. I'm probably a bigger Marlins fan right now than I've ever been, because she's changing the game. And it's a really cool thing. Derek Jeter, in part, obviously helped make that happen, and it's a great story. I can tell my daughter. I think so many other people can tell their kids as well. It's neat in the sports world now for women. Broadcasting, working in sports, working in high levels in sports. It's a good time to be alive in that sense. So when we come back, a guy that's done it at the highest of levels, wins a couple Super Bowls. We talk to him next on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At Lloyd's Construction and Consulting, we've been celebrating 10 years in business. Over the years, we've constructed thousands of projects in the Northeast Florida region. For commercial to residential, we handle each project with the respect and care it deserves. We look forward to speaking with you about your next construction project. Find out more at lloydsconstruction.net.
The pizza you'll soon be eating contains more than 55 years of tradition. Donato's Pizza started in Columbus, Ohio in 1963 with a commitment to serve delicious, fresh-made premium pizza. Donato's and Jax Beach is still proud to deliver their made-to-order, edge-to-edge goodness right to your door or at their convenient pickup window. Check out their unusually wide variety of options at 904donatos.com. It's no joke when they say they have something for everyone. That's 904donatos.com. Give it a try and see what you think.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
What can you get done in 10 minutes? Run a mile? Maybe. Find a date online for this Friday? Easy. What about listing your home for sale? In 10 minutes? Can't be possible. With the new Instant List tool from Rex, it is. Rex Instant List allows you to value and list your home with an agent in as little as 10 minutes. With the real estate market getting hotter, time is money. Let's get started. Visit sellwithrex.com. Since 2015, Rex has provided sellers with over $23 million in savings and absolutely no sacrifice on service. Have 10 minutes to spare? Visit sellwithrex.com to get started. Or speak to a Rex agent at 833-739-4663. 833-739-4663. That's 833-739-4663. 4663.
License number Florida CQ 1057788.
Minimum fee may apply. Rex fully supports the principles of the Fair Housing Act and Equal Opportunity Act.
It is the home of the Action Sports Jacks Dream 18, and make it your home course as well. The golf club at Southampton in North St. Johns County, located off County Road 210. It's family owned and operated. Southampton is a fun course to play, and the golf club at Southampton offers club membership programs starting at just $79. With its elite practice facilities and player-friendly golf course design, it'll be your gateway to a great time with the family or with your buddies. For information on the membership programs, call the golf club at Southampton, 904-287-PLAY. Again, it's 904-287-PLAY.
Worthless warranties, slimy salespeople, shady subcontractors. It's no wonder people don't trust most roofing companies. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting LLC, we didn't trust them either. That's why we started our own roofing company. With more than 25 years of experience, we offer industry-leading warranties, simple, fair financing, and no subcontractors. Residential, commercial, even multifamily properties. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting, we've got you covered. Learn more at allproroofingllc.com.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data, plus 20 gigs of hotspot, 100 gigs of cloud storage, and more. Best networks. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Assurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
What does my family think about stiff and uncomfortable shoes?
Ew.
That's gonna be a no from me.
Forget about it.
And that's why we wear Skechers Stretch Fit shoes. Because Skechers Stretch Fit are made from a breathable, soft knit that stretches and moves with you, giving you a comfortable, perfect fit with every step. And not only do Stretch Fit comfortably hug your feet, but they also have Skechers' famous air-cooled memory foam. Plus, they're machine washable and they're affordable. Find styles for men, women, and kids at a Skechers store near you, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish shoes are sold.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. Social distancing doesn't mean disconnecting. If you're working from home or just steering clear of coworkers, keep tabs on the world of sports and Action Sports Jacks on your smart speaker. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home to play ESPN 690.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Bob, being the basketball historian that you are, you know more about basketball than all of us. Who would you compare Jason Tatum to?
A poor man's Kevin Durant.
Stugotz is dancing around the studio. Poor man's Kevin Durant. It means not Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant, though.
Means not Kevin Durant.
The Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Welcome back, everybody. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN at 690. Brent Martineau along with former Jags player Austin Lane and current MMA fighter Austin Lane. Is Austin back from eating? Or warming up his food? There he is. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We're in
good.
two different places, so I can't tell. I'm at my house, Austin in the Action Sports Jacks studios. And do you have any news on another fight coming up or what?
No, man. I mean, I'm hoping. There's rumblings. You know, there's hearsay. There's murmurs. Wouldn't call it official news quite yet, but we're banking on hopefully January here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can't get too fat and happy around the holidays.
I mean, I can
You're a
shoot a little bit. I'm a heavyweight, yeah. I mean, I have like a room of like 20 pounds to gain if I truly wanted to. So I'm gonna indulge on some turkey, maybe a nice Cornish game hen, maybe a couple Miller High Lifes. Yeah, that's what we're talking about doing this year is Cornish game hens. That's what my wife wants to do.
Yeah, Steph likes that. I've never really had much that. She likes that.
I've never had one, I don't think.
Yeah, I haven't tried it either.
Sounds fancy.
It does, but I don't really think it is.
Really?
Yeah, it does sound fancy, though. You're right.
Okay.
But I don't think it is. Like, I don't believe it's that fancy. Maybe it is.
Okay, I got you.
I got to go with the turkey. I got to have – there is something that needs some bit – like I don't need to eat it in tons of it. I don't need to eat it for days. But I got to at least around the holiday have some turkey and stuffing and Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I got to do it. I don't even have to do it on the day. I just have to do it around it.
Well, listen, I mean, it's about tradition, right? Like, turkey is definitely not one of my favorite meats. It's kind of whatever. It can be kind of dry sometimes. Like, I'm more of a dark meat guy, I guess you would say. But, like, you have, like, the cranberries out of the can with the stuffing and mashed potatoes. Like, I mean, it is tradition, so I get that. I'm just curious to see what a Cornish game hen's talking about. Because, like, I'm not sure if it's fancy or not, but what sounds more fancy to you? A turkey sandwich or a Cornish game hen sandwich?
Yeah,
Enough said, Brent. Enough said.
That's I know which one sounds better.
I mean, that's up for debate, but I'm just saying which one sounds more fancy. Cornish game hen sandwich all day.
All right, Abraham Answer, 9 under par. Cameron Smith, 9 under par. Justin Thomas, 9 under par. Dustin Johnson, 9 under par. So you got 4 guys. That's the rabbit. You got to go chase 9 under par. Patrick Cantlay, 8 under. Let's see what former winner Danny Willett. Hey, look at a Willett sighting. He's 7 under par. He was 6 under in his second round. Heck of a second round. Justin Rose hanging right there. A couple of shots back. Phil Mickelson, 5 under par. He's 4 shots back. Billy Horschel, 4 under par. Tiger Woods did 3-putted number 3 after he hit a beautiful shot in there. 3-putted from 15 feet. First bogey of the tournament. He's 4 under par, but still playing some pretty good golf. He's got scoreable holes on the back 9. He started on the front 9. Rory McIlroy, he was awful in round 1. Bounces back in a big way. 6 under par in his second round today. So he's 3 under and gets himself back at least in the mix to have a chance trying to win the Grand Slam in his career in his first Masters.
Hey, Lee Westwood and Patrick Reed, let's step our games up a little bit, gentlemen.
Patrick
let's
Reed's
go.
okay. He's 4 under. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's a good spot. Lee Westwood's 4 under for you. So they're still out on the course, too. So they could end up, if they get to like 6 or 7, like that's the thing for Tiger. Tiger get to 6 under, and you feel okay. I'm not, you might not catch him. Who knows?
Yeah.
But if you're within, by the way, you could be within 6 shots going into the weekend. It doesn't matter. But you'd like to be within shouting distance, within 3 or 4 shots, I would think.
Well, and listen, Brent, obviously I'm a very casual golf observer here, but all I see is when I see T20 for both my guys, I get a little panicked and I get a little nervous.
Well,
okay?
Here's where you should get nervous. If you see missed cut.
is that like an MC? Is that called an MC? MC, okay.
And by the way, you could shoot like 1 under par and miss the cut, I think, the way the scoring's going.
How are you guys doing right now? Have we established that?
Who did I pick? Finau's okay. Yeah, he's out on the course.
And you picked Finau?
Finau, that's Finau.
Finau. Sorry.
Yep.
Finau.
And I picked, who did I pick? I picked Terrell Hatton.
Okay.
I didn't even look. I don't know what he's doing.
Probably a whole lot of MCs for you.
He might be an MC.
There you go.
So Otis Anderson expected to call in here in just a bit. So we'll hopefully get him on, talk a little ball, and also a big event coming up tomorrow that you can be involved with. The event's called Man Up. You've been hearing it the last few days, and it is tomorrow. Go to healthyjacksmen@gmail.com for more information. You'll also be able to watch the event live on Healthy Jacksonville Men's Health Coalition on Facebook. They'll be streaming it there. And there's more information. The easiest way to do is healthyjacksmen@gmail.com. But if you want to be a part of it, you go to manup2020.eventbrite.com. That's manup2020.eventbrite.com. And Otis is an ambassador for Novo Nordisk. He has diabetes, and he has partnered with them and the Men's Health Coalition. And, when you're your age and Kuz's age, you don't think about this stuff. I try not to think about this stuff, but I should think about this stuff, and I am thinking about this stuff more often. There's so many others out there that need to think about their health, especially once you dip in, once you get into the 40s and beyond. But everybody should, and I think 2020 has been that, right? I mean, it's been a reminder to everybody to take care of themselves and certainly think about their health. I think we have Otis Anderson on the line right now here on Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau, along with former Jags player Austin Lane. Otis, thanks for taking a few minutes.
Hey, man, how you guys doing?
We are doing fantastic. I do want to talk to you a little bit about today's game in football and of course, your fantastic career in terms of a 2-time Super Bowl champion. We'll get to that. but we were just talking about men's health. Austin's in his early 30s. He's an MMA fighter, former Jags player. He's in fantastic health, 6'6", 245. I mean, he'd come off the edge and go after guys like you back in the playing days, Otis. Meanwhile, me, I'm just want to hang around the athletes and 43 years old. So we got to think about these things in our health, and obviously that's top of mind for you and this event coming up tomorrow with Man Up 2020.
Yes, it is, and I just want to get the message out there to men. For one thing, don't be afraid to go talk to your doctor. I think that's one of the biggest issues or myths that we have is that we don't like to go to the doctors. Women are known to do it, but men seem to have a problem with that. I guess it's that manhood that we possess that we don't want to show sign of weakness, and to us going to the doctor sign of weakness. And that's why I partnered up with Nova Nordis to help bring the message out to men and those who are diabetics that you can have a good life, you can go see your doctor, and you can keep living. And those are the things that we need to remember and take that.
Otis Anderson.
Have a good life. Yep.
Otis Anderson with us here on Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Can you tell us a little bit more diabetes and how you've dealt with it when you learned you had it? Did you know it could be a risk factor in terms of your family? How have you dealt with it in your life?
Well, I dealt with it by going to the doctor. I dealt with it by learning information for Nova Nordis. As long as you do that, take knowledge, run with it, because knowledge is power. And just research. I heard about it when I was growing up. It was called sugar in the neighborhood that I grew up in. I never diabetes. But as I got older and learned the terminology, then I learned about it. But prior to that, it was called sugar, and some people got it, some people didn't. But when you did have it, that means you had to stay away from sweets and things like that. So that's how I went along in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I remember hearing it growing up as well. My grandmother had diabetes, and just recently I was just talking to someone close to us, and they just learned that they had diabetes. So certainly something you have to pay attention to. Is there a buzzword or factoid that people should be aware of if they're listening to say, hey, you might want to get this checked out. You might have diabetes, or you might have to get something under control. Is there something that should catch our listeners' attention?
And not just one, but it's a lot more than that. If you're having weak vision, if you're having ashy skin, if you notice those kind of things happening to you, then chances are you might want to visit a doctor. If you find yourself, tired a lot, because you don't have to be overweight to have diabetes, and that's one of the misnomers that's out there. People that are small, skinny, whatever, can have diabetes. Sometimes it's genetics. So what you have to do is, if you find yourself at about 45 years old or more, starting to notice something about your eyesight, and you had pretty good vision for a long time, you start noticing that your skin is a lot more ashy than normal when you apply lotion and stuff like that. You still seem like you're still ashy. And then, as I said, about weak vision, tingling, those are just little things. But my advice is just find out about it. Just read about it. Go with NovaNotice .com and look at it and just find information about it. And that's the best thing I could tell anybody. Just if you think you have some of those symptoms, if you're overweight, that is one contributor. But like I said, you can be small and have it. So just pay attention to your body. Your body tells you a lot of stuff. Yeah. And what's called can tell you that too. As an MMA fighter and ex-football player, our body tells us a lot of stuff. Us a lot of stuff.
Well, absolutely.
If you listen to it.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And Otis, I have to ask you, man. Speaking of your body and listening to your body, you had a very storied and very long NFL career. I think over 10 plus years here, and you played in an era, back in the early '80s where it was smash mouth. It was old school. It was real two-a-days and all that stuff. It's not what you see now. And you played a position of running back where it was very demanding on your body. I guess what was your testament to lasting so long in the league, playing such a strenuous position back?
Well, I tried to hit guys like you and don't let guys like you hit me. That was one way to do it. And just, you know what, just being smart. Just being smart. Just really just taking care of your body. Just not trying to do too much with your body. Just, again, you just got to be in tune with what your body do. Like, you know, you're in tune with your body.
Yeah.
But for those who are not, just understand one thing. If you listen to your body tells you a lot about what's going on with you. And you just got to pay attention to signs.
Otis Anderson with us here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Hey, how do you view the game today? Do you love watching the running backs still today, from Derrick Henry to Ezekiel Elliott? What are you a fan of the game? Has the game changed a lot? How do you watch the NFL these days?
I watch it and I kind of laugh at it because it's not the game that we grew up playing, and for many reasons, it's not the game we grew up playing, and you got to respect that part of it. I try to see what players could have played in my era with me, you know, that was good. I look at Derrick Henry. He's an old school guy. He could have played in my era, for no doubt about it. Ezekiel wasn't bad. He's not a bad guy to play in my era as well. That's some good backs in the league. I can't take that away. You know, Adrian Peterson probably one of the all-time best that would have played in my league as well. But you know, the game has just changed so much, and we have to understand why it changed so much. If you look at the issues that players who have played, you know, guys who played in the 50s and 60s dealing with concussion issue and, you know, dementia, I think it make the game safer for these young ball players, and it makes a lot of sense to do that. But it just, I think the money makes it so different because the commitment, I see the commitment is not the same. We play for the love of the game and for our teammates' money. And that's and it's just the will to win. Don't seem like it's always there. So that's what I see.
Austin, you got anything else for Otis before we let him go?
Well, I mean, listen, Otis, I have to talk about, you know, you're a two-time Super Bowl champion. And obviously that's something I never got to experience in my career. It's something that a lot of kids growing up, they dream of hoisting up that trophy, you know, and celebrating with their teammates. I guess were both of them special to you? Was the first one better? Was the second one better? And just kind of talk about those experiences a little bit.
Well, the first one I got traded from the Cardinals to the Giants. In mid-season, I went from 1-5 to 5-1, and then we won the Super Bowl, and I was able to score. But I had a part-time role in that. The second one had a lot to do with it. So me having a lot to do with the second one, they all mean the same, but, you know, I had a lot to do with the second one more than I did the first one. And, you know, the second one gave me MVP, but they're all important because it's so hard to get there, and it takes a lot to get there. And that's what you find out in this game is, you don't think you're going to go right back. It took us 5 years to go back and forth with it. So that's how hard it is. And you got to give Buffalo a lot of credit for going, what is it, four times in a row they win, I think?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they probably don't like you very much in Buffalo, do they? I mean, you're a Super Bowl MVP, one of their 4 losses.
Well, you know what? I told Jim Kelly, who's from Miami, he and I was Miami graduate together, and I told Kelly, I said, you can't be mad at me. You had 3 other chances. Come on.
well, Otis, and then, you know, obviously, I mean, you have the Super Bowl championships, but also I want to ask you, you know, the NFL Comeback Player of the Year, where does that rank in your accomplishments with what you've been able to do? Because, I mean, obviously, you're sharing the list of some great players, and I think in terms of respect around the league amongst your peers, that award can even mean more than anything.
Well, it did because I was so much older. I mean, I did that when I was 32 maybe, something like that, and 1,000 yards. And, yeah, I was so much older and the body was rejuvenated, and I was able to come through with it. But that is the comeback player of the year. In my 30s, I think I'm the oldest running back to ever won MVP in a Super Bowl.
Otis Anderson with us, ambassador for Novo Nordisk. As we let you go here, as phone's breaking up a little bit, but I do want to ask you this. How How cool is it for you to not only do what you wanted to do and live your dream and play in the NFL and have all the success you did, but now to be able to use the platform for events like this weekend, for awareness for diabetes, and be able to still stay kind of connected to the game because of the success you had in it?
Well, I'm just glad that Novo Nordisk is making such a big push to help bring awareness to what diabetes can do and what it's doing, and for me to be an ambassador to speak to all my fans and friends and just to bring them this knowledge that I know is just so important at this day and age for them to, start looking at how you eat, your diet and exercise a little more. Those things become a big deal for them at this point in their life, and they should pay attention to it and come and listen to my story. So I have a good story to tell tomorrow about how I got diagnosed, when I got diagnosed, the denial part of it, when like everybody else, I'm like, I don't have it. I mean, the guy said pre-diabetes or pre-diabetic, pre, that word pre. I mean, you don't have it if you say something pre. But no, if he said pre, you mean you have it. So that's just a good story I have to share about how I went through it and some of the things I had to try to do to better myself. One, I lost a lot of weight, and watch what I did. I started doing push-aways from the table. But that's all in my story. So it'd be good when the people come in tomorrow to see what I'm talking about. They're going to enjoy the story.
All right, Otis Anderson, we appreciate you jumping on. We enjoyed visiting with you about your battle and your platform there with diabetes, but also your NFL playing days. Good luck tomorrow. Have fun with it. Hope a lot of people get to see it, and hopefully we can get you on again sometime soon.
I appreciate you guys. You guys are doing a great job bringing the word out to people. That's why you guys are the key guys on ESPN that make it work, man. And good luck and keep up the good work. And I tell everybody else, man, just try to do push-aways. They don't hurt, right? Right? Get guy push-aways, right?
Without a doubt, man.
I love it.
We
Thanks,
appreciate
Otis.
it, man.
Appreciate you. That's Otis Anderson. You can register, by the way, for tomorrow's event, manup2020.eventbrite.com, manup2020.eventbrite.com. Also, Jacksonville Men's Health Coalition on Facebook. If you want to follow along, you can hear more of Otis's story and see the event. They'll be streaming live, of course. So plenty of ways to get involved with Man Up 2020. And, hey, we know we have a lot of male listeners and viewers. Do what you're supposed to do. Take care of yourself.
You bet.
We're going to take care of some picks when we come back. By the way, do you know Otis Anderson is the MVP of that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl 25, I think it was, that 20-19 win. Well, that was the Whitney Houston National Anthem game.
Oh.
Okay? But I didn't know this until I tried to do a little more research on Otis in that game, that the halftime show was interrupted. I think it was New Kids on the Block. And it wasn't aired on ABC live because Peter Jennings and ABC cut into the broadcast for an update on the war.
Wow.
And so they ran it on tape delay after the Super Bowl. I did not know that. So there's a lot of external things going on, along with Otis Anderson and the Giants winning the Super Bowl that year.
I mean, it was New Kids on the Block, too, though. I mean, you could cut them for anything.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Brent. What are we
Can
talking
you
about
imagine the Weeknd getting bumped?
Well, Brent, that would never happen. They're not. The Weeknd is not New Kids on the Block. Simple as that.
Man, New Kids on the Block was big back then.
I'm sure you're rocking out to it. That and
big.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I'll see you, Brent. I know how you get down.
We'll be back with our picks next on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly sunny today. It'll be warm. Highs between 80 and 85, but the humidity will be more comfortable and dropping to near 60 degrees tonight. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. It's Beard's Diamonds' 40th anniversary sale. Save up to 40% off store-wide till November 30th.
As the seasons change, there's one thing that never changes: the importance of clean drinking water. A Connecticut system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. Now that's clean, and that's also why Our family has a Kinetico system from CGC Water. Yours can too. Right now, CGC Water is offering a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier softener. Kinetico Premier softeners are non-electric and have twin tanks, making them super efficient, saving you money. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Schedule your free water test today and get peace of mind knowing your family's water is safe water. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Remember, this is a limited time offer, a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier softener. Financing available with approved credit. Just call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia, CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
Are you ready for it? Come on, you know what I'm talking about. Toyotathon is on. Yes, there's only one sale big enough to be called Toyotathon, and it's going on right now at Arlington Toyota. You can score amazing Toyotathon lease deals that'll put that new Toyota in your driveway today. So if you've been eyeing a sporty new 2021 Corolla LE, don't just eye it, drive it, and get a low Toyotathon lease for just $119 a month at Arlington. Or maybe it's a 2021 RAV4. Maybe that's your style. You're going to save on that too, because right now at Arlington, you can lease a new 2021 RAV4 for just $204 a month. Get to Arlington for Toyotathon savings today, where you can lease a new 2020 Camry for as low as $162 a month. And with every new vehicle purchased from Arlington, you get a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles. Plus, you can buy with total peace of mind, thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange policy. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. Toyotathon is on, so don't wait. Shop safely in person at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for full offer details.
For more than 25 years, the potential for health improvement is seen with each patient that walks through our doors. Healthcare decisions don't have to be confusing. Make Island Doctors your medical practice.
My husband and I have been coming to Island Doctors for approximately 10 years, and we have been very happy with them, and we trust them.
Call us today and schedule a tour of one of our locations near you and take a look at our best wellness program, and welcome home.
Call 1-877-434-4676 or visit islanddoctors.com.
Diamonds Direct's doing something we've never done before. A spectacular 7-day store-wide event with 20% off and more. Virtually everything. It's all next week, November 16th through the 22nd. This is the pre-holiday sale everyone waits for. Taken to a whole new level for 2020. Get 20% off all designer and fashion jewelry, all eternity bands, earrings, bracelets, bigger selection, lowest prices, special incentives. An extraordinary sale for an extraordinary year. November 16th through 22nd only, and only at Diamonds Direct.
Off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt.
Worthless warranties, slimy salespeople, shady subcontractors. It's no wonder people don't trust most roofing companies. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting LLC, we didn't trust them either. That's why we started our own roofing company. With more than 25 years of experience, we offer industry-leading warranties, simple, fair financing, and no subcontractors. Residential, commercial, even multifamily properties. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting, we've got you covered. Learn more at allproroofingllc.com.
Nathan from Gordon Chevy in Orange Park here with some great news for all the veterans. The Chevy Military Discount, that's a fixed discounted price on all new Chevys, is now available for every active retired and now eligible military veteran. It's the same price the Chevy suppliers get, no negotiation needed, just a great deal up front. It can't be any easier. Come pick out a new Chevy today and get a deal. Gordon Chevy on the money saving end of Blanding in Orange Park or GordonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
We all know men tend to take their health for granted. Well, that has to change. Jacksonville Men's Health Coalition is hosting Man Up, a free virtual health summit this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. Man Up is a collaboration with AARP to focus on improving men's health outcomes, featuring former NFL player and two-time Super Bowl champion Otis Anderson, Food Network celebrity Chef Amadeus, and comedian Jen Weeks. Free hepatitis C and HIV testing available. For more information, email healthyjacksmen@gmail.com.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jackson, ESPN 690. social distancing doesn't mean disconnecting. If you're working from home, keep tabs on the world of sports and Action Sports Jax on your smart speaker. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home, play ESPN 690.
Brent Martineau.
Then I said, still looking for his 4th career sack.
Austin Lane.
I'm spending pretty much every single day with somebody for pretty much 2 years now that you know somebody. And they surprise you. I sit here before you right now, and I am surprised.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
I think we got to find our identity as opposed to different years where you have so much more time to work on the chemistry off the field with gatherings and get-togethers and figure out who you are. I think because of the lack of fans and the injuries that we've had, we're still really exactly figuring out who we are. Last year, we were kind of led by our defense for much of the season. They were dominating. This year, our offense is playing a little bit better. Our defense is trying to find their footing as we move forward. But to be 6-2 right now with the injuries that we've had and the circumstances feels really good. We're not going to relax or get complacent, though. We got a tough road ahead of us.
That is Aaron Rodgers, quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. I'm not sure he has a tough road ahead of him this week.
Yeah, it's more of just football speak.
Yeah, a little bit. Kuz actually gave us some really good numbers. I'm going to find him because he took the time to.
No, I mean, they're impressive. Going to be honest, though, I don't need them, but I appreciate it.
I would also like to say I did none of that. ESPN emailed me them, and all I did was hit copy and paste.
Hey, it's still effort, though, Kuz. Don't get it twisted, man.
Kuz, let's be honest. You could probably give us this kind of info every show, but you don't. So this is it.
Yeah.
So this is work for you.
Yeah, no, this was a huge step up.
Yeah, this is big.
Kuz has the inside sources. I appreciate it.
Here we go. Aaron Rodgers, 14-3 in his career against teams entering with a .125 win percentage or worse at any point in the season. Guess where the Jags are at? Jake Luke will make his 2nd career start Sunday. Only 3 QBs with 1 or fewer career starts have ever squared off against Aaron Rodgers. That's a wild one. Christian Ponder, Cam Newton, and Josh Freeman. Rodgers has thrown at least 3 passing touchdowns and 0 interceptions in 3 straight games. 2nd longest streak of his career. Huh.
Wow.
That's a little surprising. Rodgers one of 4 QBs to have a streak of 4 such games. Wilson, Drew Brees, Tom Brady. Those guys are pretty good. I'll give you a couple more real quick. Aaron Rodgers thrown 24 passing touchdowns this season, most through 8 games in his career, tied with 2011. And, by the way, his 9th game of 2011, he threw 4 touchdowns. So look out, Jags.
Hey, Kuz, can I request some Kyler Murray stats next week, please? Thank you.
I can get you for him right now.
Drowning out the Kyler Murray noise.
My man.
Victory gives the Colts a 50% chance of winning the AFC South. I don't know why this is on there, Kuz. This has nothing to do with the Green Bay game. But it must have just been copied in. Okay.
No, that was just AFC South stuff.
Oh, that was just I got you. I think what you were trying to say is now they beat the Titans, they have a good chance to win the AFC South division. I think that's what it said.
Some would say a 50% chance to win the AFC South division.
Yeah, that's
if you read it.
With who?
The Titans?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. They're tied and they have a 50% chance. Very good. I needed ESPN's.
So upset
to be fair,
I needed ESPN's FPI to tell me that.
To be fair, the Titans are at 49%. There's somewhere in there's a 1% for everyone else.
Doesn't Houston have a chance? I don't know.
Texans and Jags are 1% essentially.
Yeah, so shame on you, Brent. There's still a chance.
It's still a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
The Jags have not been mathematically eliminated from winning the AFC South yet.
I guess not. Anything can happen, Brent.
Very interesting.
It starts this Sunday, or does it?
Let's bring in Brandon Ponzo right now from JacksCoastalHomes.com. I think I got roughed up a little bit last week on the pick, Brandon.
But, hey, I did hit my 5-star Ravens pick, so that's all that counts.
That is good.
I don't know we had 5-star picks now we're doing for bonus points.
I think it's so funny, man. I come in on Mondays and Austin's like now watching me circle and put X's over the picks. He's like, I went 4-2.
Yep.
I went 4-2.
So. Well, Brent, because now we're in crunch time. Like, this is where it starts to count now. Like, every single win can be the difference between a winning and a losing. Do we have an established prize yet for this thing, by the way? Just bragging rights?
I mean, Jack's Coastal Homes has promised us a brand new home.
Oh, done. Sold.
No, but $2,500 off your closing costs. Just got to mention ESPN 690.
Nice.
Absolutely.
So Brandon Ponzo with us on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. We got some good games to talk about. I left off the real estate stuff last week, so I'm at home right now doing the show from, I wouldn't necessarily call this a man cave, but yeah, I got some Masters photos and some jerseys up in here and everything. There's a little foosball table over here I play in the breaks. Always win when I play by myself. Have you gone to, I'm putting you on the spot. You've done some homes out from San Diego to here in Florida that you're like, wow, that is like the greatest man cave ever.
There was a home in Rancho Santa Fe, and if folks aren't familiar with Rancho Santa Fe, it's where Phil Mickelson, it's where the big money in San Diego, big estate homes out off the ranch, 15 minutes from the beach, and one of the private country clubs. It was a 9,000 square foot home for about $5 million, and the man cave theater room was the most insane thing I ever saw in my life.
Wow.
So.
Now, how about something like that? I always ask you, does it add value to I mean, it's a $5 million home, so I mean, I don't know what adds value to a $5 million home. $5 million home is probably $5 million home. But do people get picked? Like, does that turn some people off because you got to get a certain person in there? That
I mean, when we're talking we're talking in the Jacksonville market, you don't see as many of these multi-million-dollar homes. So, if it's a traditional home, somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 square feet, space needs to be laid out in a proper manner. When you start doing things unique and different, you're cutting out certain buyers. Obviously the space can be converted, but you're looking to appeal to the mainstream. That's why when you're looking to sell, you want to make sure things are neutral colors with your paint, crazy things that are your taste. You should convert those over. Because they're just not going to look well in the photos to the mass buyer pool.
Yeah, you might want to paint that hot pink room you have, Austin. That's what he's saying.
Hey, don't question what I'm going to do with my home. All right, it'll be selling top dollar. Believe that.
Hey, Austin, just put a fire pit in the middle of your backyard and you're good to go.
I know, and watch the property values just decrease and watch the neighbors move out. Absolutely.
By the way, we're doing the show from there next week. I just couldn't count on the rain to be gone, so I'll take you out to the fire pit next week. All right, let's get it. I'm not going to be wearing a
shirt. It's going to be 90 degrees, but sounds good.
Brandon Ponzo with us, JacksCoastalHomes.com. Check him out for all your real estate needs, buying, selling. You have questions, look him up, JacksCoastalHomes.com. Brandon Ponzo with us. And if you want some advice on picks, Brandon's not too bad at that. I'd go to Austin or Brandon, not me.
Yep.
Because I haven't been so good, but I'm going to get better right now. Let's go to college game. Miami, Virginia Tech. Va-Tech, a 2-point favorite. I got to tell you guys, I've been super impressed with the Miami Hurricanes. They finally have a quarterback, and Derek King has been tremendous, and he was awesome last week. Do you like the Canes or Va-Tech, Brandon?
How about that high school football team with Derek King and Kyle Trask on the same roster? They both threw, I think, 6 touchdowns each last week. That's pretty crazy. But
and Trask didn't play, by the way, for that team. Like, he never played.
Yeah, he's a backup. So wild. But I think Fuente might be losing this Va-Tech team a little bit the way they lost to Liberty last week. So I'm going to take the Canes. And Derek King's pretty hot right now, and I'll take the Canes on the road to get the win.
Go ahead, Austin.
Man, Hurricanes got the better quarterback. Va-Tech is streaky. They win one, they lose one. They win one, they lose one. They can pound the rock, keep it a close game. I think Va-Tech pulls it off at home.
Wow, how about that?
Yep.
I'm going with Brandon.
Good.
I trust him for my real estate needs. I trust him for his picks right now. I like the Canes. Canes play good football. I'm a Manny Diaz fan, and Derek King is playing better than I thought he would be. I've got to give a tip of the cap to him. So I'm going with the Canes.
Game picker-upper, hashtag.
Yes, game picker-upper for you. Not hashtag, trademark. Wisconsin at Michigan. Wisconsin's a 4.5-point favorite. They haven't played since, I don't know when. Michigan has been so disappointing. Austin, you're the whiskey guy.
Yeah. Listen, if I go home for Christmas, I still want to be welcome to my hometown of Iowa, Scandinavia, so I'm taking Wisconsin. I don't care what the points are. Just give me Wisconsin. I got to do it.
Brandon, what do you think?
It's still up in the air whether Graham Mertz plays, so a little concerned about that on Wisconsin's side in the 3-week layoff. Harbaugh's in desperation mode in Ann Arbor, so I think Michigan, I don't know that they'll necessarily win, but I think this game's going to be very close, so I'll take the 4.5.
I can't see Michigan. What's Michigan right now? They 1-2? Is that
Yeah.
what their record is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't see. It just doesn't look right if they were 1-3. I can't fathom it. And so I'm getting 4.5 points in the big house, even though that doesn't really matter this year. I'm going to go Michigan, too. I just can't imagine Wisconsin beats them on the road.
Back-to-back game picker-uppers.
Trademark. Okay, let's go to the NFL now. We got a few good ones. So Chargers, Dolphins, Herbert, Tua. I like this one. Chargers come all the way across. They can't win, but they keep everything close, and they make you nervous if you're picking a game. Or the Dolphins, who, man, they're playing some really good football, and they keep winning with or without Tua. Brandon, what do you like? The line in this one is 1.5. Miami's favored by just 1.5.
This is a sneaky good game to watch on Sunday with these two young stud quarterbacks. I just feel like the Dolphins got a lot more mojo going right now. They're playing well. They're right there with Buffalo to win that AFC East. Tua looked sharp last week, so I'll take the Dolphins at home.
I'm taking the Dolphins as well.
Oh, I'm going to go with game picker-upper trademark right here and pick L.A., which is dumb because L.A. doesn't win. Anthony Lynn doesn't know how to win a game, it doesn't seem like, but I'm going to still take him anyway. I just feel like is he really going to go 3-0 to start his career? I don't like that trend. By the way, that game will be on CBS 47 following the Masters on Sunday. Now, here's another good one. Here's your guy. We'll start with you, Austin.
Yeah.
Bills and Cardinals. Josh Allen, the better QB, of course, than Kyler Murray. Murray and the Cardinals, 2.5-point favorites.
Well, listen, Kuz sent me a whole bunch of Kyler Murray facts. I'm not going to list them off right now. We'll save that for later on in the show, so get ready for that. And if you got a problem, we'll just mute you. Listen, unless Kyler Murray comes down with COVID-19 the next 2 days, Cardinals by at least 25.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, I don't think Buffalo's at that elite level where they're going to come out and play two great games like they played so good last week in Seattle. So I'm going to take the Cardinals, get back on track.
It's a tough one to pick. You talk about streaky. I think Buffalo's been streaky. First 4 games, their offense looked like the greatest show on turf. The next 4, they look like, maybe they're losing some mojo, and then they bounce back against Seattle. I know Arizona's defense is better than Seattle, but I'm going to say they ride the momentum a bit in Buffalo and come so much closer to clinching that AFC East. They're going to run away with it, in my opinion. I'm going to take Buffalo in another game picker-upper, just so I can say I told you so over Kyler Murray with Austin on Monday. Last one.
Now it's getting personal.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It got personal a long time ago.
Sure.
Not the last one, but Seahawks and Rams. This is an interesting game. Rams are favored by 1.5. That one, 425 on Sunday. Brandon, what do you like?
I was riding with the Seahawks, and they let me down last week, so I'm gonna switch it up. I think they've been exposed on defense. They can't stop anybody. Goff should look good, and Donald will disrupt Russell Wilson. So I'll take the Rams at home.
This is probably the hardest pick for me, just because I feel like the Rams can shut down the receivers of Seattle, but for some reason, even though they're on a long road trip right now, they come back to the West Coast. I got to take Seattle just for some reason. I trust in the MVP, Russell Wilson. He's going to find a way to get it done somehow.
You know, I kind of like Seattle, too, and here's part of it. The Rams really, while they've won games, they just haven't – have they beaten anybody good? That's my question with the Rams. And Seattle going to lose 2 in a row. Don't like the trend there. I'm going to take Seattle as well. All right, Jags and Packers. We don't know. We know who's winning the game, okay? It's Green Bay. But there is a line here, and it's 13.5 points, which is a ton of points in the NFL. The Jags seem like they're playing better. Well, they played okay last week. Maybe played their best they could and still lost. What do you think, Brandon? 2 touchdown favorites for Green Bay.
I think the Jags are just an up-and-down team, and they played a decent game last week, and I think this week's just going to be a big letdown going up. Cold weather, Rodgers, their defense is going to struggle. So I'll take the Packers to cover this one.
Austin? This is tough, huh? This one hits right in the heart for you.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, do I want to go to the Jack's Beach Bars or do I want to go to the Pick?
Forget it, man. No, because I already picked the Badgers. Wisconsin fans can do whatever they want to do with me. I don't care. I picked the Badgers. You should be happy. Give me the Jaguars. Give me Jake Luton back-to-back weeks. I think that if they're wrong with James Robinson, Dalvin Cook beat the Packers. James Robinson can possibly do this exact same thing. You put DJ Chark in the slot. Don't give him to Jair Alexander, and it could be competitive. 13.5 points is a lot. I know I'm making a lot of people mad right now, and sometimes I enjoy that. So give me the Jaguars, man.
I'm on the tank train, so somewhere along the way, the Jags are going to disappoint me and win a game. Now, they're not going to win this game, but they might still scare me this week. 13.5 points is a lot of points. I think their defense found a little confidence last week, so I think they might keep this closer than people think. I'm a little worried about Jake Luton in game number 2, but I'm going to take the 13.5 points because that's a ton of points in the NFL, and right now I'm already up 13-0, and kickoff's still 48 hours away. I kind of like that. So there's our picks. Jags, and Green Bay in the finale. Austin and I have the Jags. Brandon Ponsel from JacksCoastalHomes.com. Enjoy the weekend, man. Not a lot of college football, but you get the Masters.
That's all right. It's so odd watching it in November, but it's still the Masters.
All right. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you again next week.
You too. Thanks, fellas. Bye.
All right. That's Brandon Ponsel. Joins us weekly on our picks. He's done good with the picks.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I feel sick to my stomach after those picks because a lot of yours are the same as mine. And we know how you're playing this year, so I don't feel so good about this week.
Well, listen, we've got the 2 college games are different.
Yeah.
Chargers and Dolphins are different. Buffalo, Arizona different. The last 2 are the only ones.
I guess.
I mean, even if we split them.
Yeah. We'll see what's up.
I'm going 6-0 this week. Like you said, it's crunch time.
It is crunch time. Hail Mary time.
I'm a December guy.
Hey, you know he's going to start getting desperate when he starts picking, like, who's going to win the next golf tournament. Yeah. I guarantee that's going to become next week.
I deliver in December.
Yeah.
Crunch time. Hey, we will talk more about the NFL, more about the Jags as we line everything up. Coming up the rest of the way. Also going to peek into the NBA crystal ball a little bit, just to appease Kuz, because we want him to come back on Monday.
Oh, Brandon, we have some breaking news real quick. So Kyler Murray is the first player in NFL history with 2,000 pass yards and 500 rush yards through 8 games. Compliments of Justin Kuzar.
Very good. That's not breaking news. I mean, I saw that like Tuesday, but I was hiding it from you.
Breaking records.
It's breaking records. We'll give you a Masters update on the way as well. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for hanging with us on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Friday the 13th. I'm Jake Mitchell. Thursday Night Football last night, Phillip Rivers and the Colts took the Titans to the woodshed, leaving the teams tied for first place in the AFC South. Mike Vrabel may have seen this coming as he talked about how hard it is to prepare on a short week.
I think recovery and preparation are 2 things that we've talked about. Being able to try to recover from a game a few days ago, but also get into the preparation mode. I think those are the 2 biggest things that we can do on a short week is try to hammer home the recovery and try to get them as much rest as we can, but also be able to practice and work and function.
In baseball, the postseason awards are being handed out, and the MVP in the AL is White Sox first baseman Jose Abreu. Braves' Freddie Freeman takes home the NL MVP. You're working from home and want to listen to ESPN? Tell your smart speaker to play ESPN 690.
Nothing is certain except death and taxes. And your appliance is breaking down as soon as they're out of warranty. At Atlantic Coast Appliance, we can't help with the first 2, but we've got the third one covered. Our factory-trained and certified technicians have been repairing appliances for more than 35 years, with a 90-day warranty on parts and labor and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For quality repair at a price that's fair, trust Atlantic Coast Appliance. AtlanticCoastAppliance.com. That's AtlanticCoastAppliance.com.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At Lloyd's Construction and Consulting, we've been celebrating 10 years in business. Over the years, we've constructed thousands of projects in the Northeast Florida region. For commercial to residential, we handle each project with the respect and care it deserves. We look forward to speaking with you about your next construction project. Find out more at lloydsconstruction.net.
After an extraordinary year like this one, Diamonds Direct believes it's time for an extraordinary sale. So starting Monday, November 16th, our annual pre-holiday store-wide sale is taken to a whole new level with 20% and more across-the-board savings. Best prices of 2020 with an expanded selection from all our top designers. It's not 2 or 3 days, it's an entire week of pre-holiday savings. November 16th through 22nd, our first ever week-long store-wide sale. Don't miss it. 7 straight days of spectacular savings only at Diamonds Direct.
Off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Are you curious about marijuana? Florida A&M University established the Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, also known as MARY, to educate the public about medical marijuana use as well as the detrimental health and social impacts of unlawful marijuana use on local communities. Find out more at mmeri.famu.edu.
Now this is a stimulus package. You could be driving away in a new Ford F-150 or a Lincoln Aviator from Bozard Ford Lincoln. Watch for the word of the day between 6:30 and 7 during Action News Jax this morning. Text 46757 and you could qualify to win. Plus, every day we're giving away 2 $100 gift cards to the new Ford's Garage restaurant, located outside Bozard's new Lincoln showroom. The Drive and Dine giveaway. Weekday mornings on Action News Jax.
Worthless warranties, slimy salespeople, shady subcontractors. It's no wonder people don't trust most roofing companies. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting LLC, we didn't trust them either. That's why we started our own roofing company. With more than 25 years of experience, we offer industry-leading warranties, simple, fair financing, and no subcontractors. Residential, commercial, even multifamily properties. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting, we've got you covered. Learn more at allproroofingllc.com.
ESPN 690 wants you to shop the 904. And by doing that, you keep most of the money and jobs right here on the First Coast. Plus, local businesses give our community its uniqueness and character that makes living on the First Coast so great.
Shop the 904!
One of the easiest ways to offer local kids a great Christmas is through Jewish Family and Community Services. Help us make this holiday season shine. Jewish Family and Community Services. Here for giving, here for Jax.
Wendy's new classic chicken sandwich is now in the 2 for $5, and that's reason to celebrate. Try the new classic and then take your mouth on a victory lap with the iconic Dave's Single, the delicious spicy chicken sandwich, spicy or crispy 10-piece nuggets, or just get another classic chicken sandwich. Taste greatness today with Wendy's 2 for $5. We got you.
For a limited time, a la carte only. Price and participation may vary. U.S. Wendy's.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Hey, welcome back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Let's get you a little bit of a Masters update if you're on your way home and want to know. Abraham Answer, Cameron Smith, Justin Thomas, Dustin Johnson still in the lead. They're all in the clubhouse, by the way. Not far. Go down a little bit. You got guys like Danny Willett, Tommy Fleetwood, Justin Rose, Louis Oosthuizen, John Rahm, Paul Casey, all at 7 under, 2 shots back. Patrick Reed is 6 under. Phil Mickelson 5 under. Brooks Koepka 5 under. Ricky Fowler 4 under, Billy Horschel 4 under, and Tiger Woods just birdied the 8th hole. Yes, he did, to get to 1 over on his round today. Missed 3-putted on number 3, and then bogey number 7, bounces back with a birdie on 8. So he is back to 4 under on the day, which is where he began things. So he is now even on the day. He was 1 over going into that 8th hole, the par 5. But on the par 5 fronts, he's birdied both of those, so that's always a big thing at Augusta. Tiger Woods 5 shots back, still in okay situation heading into the week. Big story today, by the way, Rory McIlroy looking for the career Grand Slam. Was awful to finish up round 1 and then bounces back in his next 18 holes today on Friday. Second round, shoots 6 under. 66, so he's 3 under and at least got himself back in contention to maybe do something special on the weekend. That's the Masters update. and talk a little bit fantasy football in the weekend and the NFL coming up at 5 o'clock, and check in on Prize Picks and see how you did last night, see how we did. But also, I promised Kuz a little NBA talk yesterday, didn't get to it. So Drive and Dish podcast going strong. What have you guys been talking about, Kuz, the Drive and Dish podcast?
Jerseys?
No, we've been talking about the season starts in about a month.
Draft's next week, Brent.
I know, the draft is next week. Do you like how everything shook out in the NBA? Like when the season is starting, how they're doing the calendar is.
I think
I know
it's
it was
fine.
for debate, but I mean,
Yeah.
you just want more NBA. So you'd be okay if they played 365 days a year, right?
I think it's fine, but then you have teams like the big news, obviously, that's going on right now is with the Rockets and Westbrook kind of not wanting to be there, and so you have less than a month to figure it out in terms of chemistry and finding new players and trying to make a trade, because Westbrook, as he gets older, is going to be harder and harder to trade with how much money he's going to be making. So I feel bad for teams like that are trying to make a big change or a big shakeup. Bucks kind of are in maybe a situation like that too, where you want to bring in a big name. So I feel bad for those teams.
Does it make sense? Does it make sense for anybody to go after Westbrook, Austin?
Man, you have to ask the question, does the talent outweigh possibly some of the team distractions and things like that? I think that if you're a solid team that's in playoff contention, you just kind of let him go. It's because, like you saw we did it in Houston, it just didn't work. But at the same time, I think if you're like a rebuilding team like the Knicks, or a team that's in need of a spark, I mean, Russell, listen, one of his downsides is also his positive. The guy plays super hard, right? And sometimes that can echo out his teammates. It's not a good look. But I think if you can go to a team that's rebuilding, then absolutely take Russell Westbrook.
Are there some guys that just aren't going to win big? Is he one of them? For whatever reason, because I agree with you when you say that. Like, I don't know if there's a guy who plays harder in the NBA.
Sure,
like
and that means
absolutely plays lights out hard, but just doesn't seem to win.
Yeah, I mean, it's him and TJ McConnell, and they're both not winners, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to get that championship, just because I feel like the teams that are going to try to coax him and recruit him, they're not the competitive teams.
You need, a team that needs him is a team that already has a ton of shooting, but just needs to add that, powerful element, essentially.
Yeah.
And I don't know who that is, because, if you're the Bucks, you don't want that. If you're Mavericks, you don't want that. If you're the Nets, you don't want that, because you're already working towards something and may already have that kind of element with that team.
What about the Nuggets?
No, I think you don't need. Yeah. He's going to demand the ball so much, and you don't need that.
Yeah.
Last thing, Nets' most interesting team going into the next season?
I would say, honestly, for me, it's the Warriors.
That's good. They get everybody back too. Okay, we'll talk more about it as that comes a little bit closer. When we come back, we talk more football on ESPN 690.
Hey, boss, look at this article from the Crooks R Us newsletter.
What you got there, Peaches?
It says, disappointed consumers are returning do-it-yourself alarm systems in record numbers.
That doesn't surprise me. Once folks realize us crooks love the DIYs, they come to the senses and send them back.
Yeah, then they upgrade to a safe touch system and poof, instant crook repellent.
You got that right.
Oh, but wait till you hear this, boss. These do-it-yourself alarm companies are taking back these alarms from customers and then reselling them as refurbished.
Oh, gee, I thought we were shameless.
Yeah, but it's good when you think about it. The more DIY systems out there means fewer safe touch systems.
True, because we all live by the Crooks R Us motto.
Stay away from safe touch houses. That's right.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
It's the season of giving at Honda of the Avenues, and Honda of the Avenues is giving you the gift of choice, like the choice of a new Honda Civic or HR-V for just $125 a month. Yes, just $125 per month for your choice of a new Civic or HR-V on a 36-month lease. See dealer website for details, but don't miss the season of giving at Honda of the Avenues. It's happening this month at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant. Visit the dealership on Phillips Highway or online at hondaoftheavenues.com.
For the ones standing guard, for the eagle-eyed, for the knights in shining armor, and for all those who support them. We are Grainger, your experienced safety partner, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, committed to helping keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com/safety, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Nothing is certain except death and taxes. And your appliance is breaking down as soon as they're out of warranty. At Atlantic Coast Appliance, we can't help with the first two, but we've got the third one covered. Our factory-trained and certified technicians have been repairing appliances for more than 35 years, with a 90-day warranty on parts and labor and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For quality repair at a price that's fair, trust Atlantic Coast Appliance. AtlanticCoastAppliance.com. That's AtlanticCoastAppliance.com.
We all know men tend to take their health for granted. Well, that has to change. Jacksonville Men's Health Coalition is hosting Man Up, a free virtual health summit this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. Man Up is a collaboration with AARP to focus on improving men's health outcomes, featuring former NFL player and two-time Super Bowl champion Otis Anderson, Food Network celebrity Chef Amadeus, and comedian Jen Weeks. Free hepatitis C and HIV testing available. For more information, email healthyjacksmen@gmail.com.
All across the nation, we are here for our communities.
We're doing our part to get supplies where it's needed in order to fight COVID-19 together.
It feels good to be out there to assist our community.
I would like our friends and family to know that your National Guardsmen are always ready and always there.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Adding a leader you need right when you need them. That's how sports teams get ahead and how your business can too. LinkedIn will match the right talent with your open roles fast. Post a job and you'll get great candidates with the right mix of skills, interest, and experience. So every hire you make is a win for your business. Go to linkedin.com/sports and get $50 off your first job post. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
College football, it's the game you wake up early on Saturdays for, even though kickoff isn't until 7. The game where the Goodyear blimp becomes a Hall of Famer. The game that goes just beyond school, spirit, fandom, or love of the sport. It's the where the comebacks happen. It's the game where anything can and will happen as long as you have the drive, because college football is the game that moves you. We get it because it moves us too. Goodyear, more driven.
I'm Doug Brown. Play winding down on day 2 at the Masters. It's live right now on ESPN. A 4-way tie for the lead. Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Abraham Answer, and Cameron Smith all at 9 under par. Tiger Woods at 4 under, still on the course right now. He spoke earlier with ESPN's Tom Rinaldi about this year's unique atmosphere.
It certainly is a much different atmosphere with no patrons, and the electricity is just not there, and there's so many shots that are uphill here. We don't know where the ball.
This weekend, UCLA and Cal will play at the Rose Bowl at 9 a.m. Pacific on Sunday. That comes after UCLA's game against Utah and Cal's game at Arizona State were both canceled due to COVID-19 and roster issues. From the NFL, Steelers coach Mike Tomlin says he expects quarterback Ben Roethlisberger to be cleared to play for Sunday's game against the Bengals.
Church's new chicken sandwich is finally here. With almost 70 years in the kitchen, you can bet we put the work in to make it worth it. It's everything you love about Church's between 2 buns. Get it today, just $3.99. Thanks for waiting. Church's, bringing that down-home flavor.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
I got off to a better start today, which is good, but I think everyone is. Everyone's going low out there today. These conditions, you have to be aggressive. There's no reason why you can't fire a lot of the flags. Like today on 5, I hit a little squeezer off the tee and had 227 in the hole. I hit a 4 into the back edge that only rolled out a foot. Okay, that doesn't happen here. So there are balls that are with wedges that are ripping back. You have to watch spin. That's normally not the case. You're trying to find spin around here. But this is the way the golf course is going to play for the next couple days. But
hey, Captain Obvious.
Yeah, there he is. Hey, no, actually, I thought he gave us a little insight there. I thought one in the update,
Scores
right?
are low. Yep.
Well, yeah, but I thought that
Scores
was
are very
interesting
low.
that he said, hey, listen, it wasn't like I did some like miraculous thing here and went 4 under par yesterday. The greens are way more receptive than they normally would have been. Didn't even roll out. He was mentioned on 5. By the way, 5 was a hole that he bogeyed every round last year and still won the 2019 Masters. But I also thought it was pretty he gave some great insight on the fans not being there, because he's right. The one thing that you don't get watching the Masters is how uphill and downhill it is. And so you do have all these uphill shots, and so you don't know where the ball is on the green necessarily. And oftentimes the fans, as they call them patrons there, would go crazy if it's close, or give you a nice applause if it's on, or maybe an ooh if it's in the sand. So I thought that was an interesting note. So not as much Captain Obvious from Tiger, in my opinion.
Yeah, scores are low. Soft greens, so cool.
Yeah. How much will you actually watch? Will you watch any of the Masters this week?
Is there UFC fights this weekend? The answer is yes.
You tell me.
Yeah, the answer is yes. So
okay,
yeah.
UFC fights are at night.
Yeah, but I still have to prep myself. That's a full day thing. So realistically, we'll see what Sunday's talking about. It's football. I might glance at it Saturday, but I'll be honest with you. I was watching a little bit today, and I shouldn't talk bad about ESPN, but and I'm not sure what the announcer is on. I think he's on CBS, maybe. I don't know. But the main master is an announcer, and I don't want to sound okay. And I don't want to sound like a golf snob or anything, but
you certainly don't.
If I'm watching the Masters, that dude's got to be calling it, because I was listening to some other people call it, and it was it threw me off. It didn't feel right.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's fair.
It ruined the whole thing.
That's fair. I understand what you're saying there. You get used. Like Jim Nance says, at least for our generation, becomes synonymous with the Masters.
Yeah, and when football, I can listen to a lot of announcers. I don't hate on anybody, but with this golf thing, especially the Masters, a tradition like no other. If I don't got Jim Nance calling it, forget it. Sorry, can't watch it. Can't listen to it. It's over.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm passionate, man.
You are passionate.
Yeah.
You're going to watch a lot of it. I got it.
Hey, we'll see how my guy.
Hey, prizepicks.com. We told you all about them yesterday. We're going to tell you a little bit more about it today. You can see at the top of our screen, if you're watching the video feeds, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, that if you go to prizepicks.com or the PrizePicks app, you put in the promo code JAX, J-A-X, and check it out. We've been playing along. It's a lot of fun. The Masters, by the way, is a real fun one to do. I've got a couple entries in there and kind of watching, whether it's Tiger or Brooks Koepka, and my guy Finau not playing great right now. So you play the over and unders, and that's what we do a lot on our show, and now you can play along as well. If you did play last night after we told you, we talked about the Thursday night game.
Yeah.
You may have been mad at the Colts for not playing Jonathan Taylor.
That's on you. Listen, it's been running back by committee the whole year there. So, like I told you can't really trust a lot of the offensive weapons of the Colts. Thankfully, I played Phillip Rivers last night.
I did that too.
Okay.
But that didn't help.
What do you mean?
It helped in the first half.
Yeah, first half.
So you played the first half. Overall, he came like a point short.
So I played the first half of Phillip Rivers, and then the entire game, I played T.Y. Hilton. But since we're on the topic right now, I didn't really want to get into this because I'm upset. So my big lock yesterday, let's be honest, Brent, people take my football knowledge very seriously. And I said that Jonnu Smith was going to hit the under.
Yes.
And you know what? If you watch the receiving stats and the yardage, he would have hit the under. But for whatever reason, when you're on the goal line and you have a man by the name of Derrick Henry, who I guess he's good at running the football, you chose to run with Jonnu Smith, and he gets a touchdown and messes my entire parlay up. Irate. Ticked off. Woke up my son. Wife was wondering what's going on. I'm like, well, a tight end just scored a rushing touchdown. How do you think it's going for me right now?
Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of you because I didn't mess around with Jonnu Smith, but I did with Corey Davis.
Yeah.
Because yesterday on the show, and I thought you had good reasoning, and he came close, but then they just stopped playing football at the end of that game, and so he couldn't get over the top of his over-under. So some of these things are nail biters, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it comes right down to it. But I think the one that got people a lot, and again, if you go to prizepicks.com, PrizePicks app, you can play along, and you can play along with college games all weekend, play along with the Masters, play along with the NFL. And last night, if you had in your fantasy team or on PrizePicks, Jonathan Taylor, you're like, what are you guys doing? You're down near the goal line, and you're running like whoever the other back is.
Yeah,
Hines,
Naeem
No,
Hines.
not even Hines.
Oh,
Wilkins.
The other dude. Yeah, where's he from, by the way?
Yeah, but and the crazy thing about that, I thought was, again, Jonathan Taylor, they spent pretty good draft capital on. And in that first half, he, ran over a Tennessee Titan.
Yeah.
And after he ran him over, it's like they never used him again.
I know. I mean,
it was the oddest thing.
It was the oddest thing. To be fair, Naeem Hines had a pretty good night last night.
He had a great night.
But still, I mean, you saw it. I saw it. The fact that they weren't running Jonathan Taylor more. Hey, who knows? Maybe Reich maybe he had the under for Jonathan Taylor in Prize Picks. I don't want to call any kind of collusion or anything, but that's all I can think of.
Yeah, well, and the crazy – listen, I get Hines. I mean, he's a good weapon, and they use him well, and he had a career night last night. But I just think down near the goal line, it didn't make much sense. Taylor's your guy, your bruising back.
Yeah.
Right? He's your power back.
Yep.
And they didn't even have him in.
But, Brent, let's be honest. Sometimes when you're by the goal line, you run it with Hines, and sometimes when you're by the goal line, for whatever reason, you run it with Jonnu Smith. So who knows what we're talking about anymore.
Yeah. I've been a little surprised anyway, going back a few weeks, how they've used Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
It's weird, right? A couple weeks ago, you look up, I actually asked the question. I was like, is Jonathan Taylor hurt? Because Wilkins got 18 carries, had 90-plus yards.
Mm-hmm.
And keep in mind that they've already lost what's his name earlier in the year.
Marlon Mack, yeah.
So, I mean, they've got a stable of backs.
They do, and that's the thing, too, with Jonathan Taylor. He's not Naeem Hines in the pass game, but Jonathan Taylor is still pretty reliable, as you saw last night, in the pass game as well. It's a weird situation right now because, and once again, I get it. Hines, you had the hot hand. But Jonathan Taylor was kind of doing his own thing as well. I mean, like you mentioned, when he truck sticked that dude, that's a play right there that gets the team excited, right? And that's contagious. And why you wouldn't want to see more of that from Jonathan Taylor, I'm not really sure on. So whether they're trying to bring him on slowly, whatever the reason may be, you got to keep in mind, what did you spend on that guy in the draft? Let's go ahead and try to get your money's worth there, Colts.
Yeah, so, well, hey, if you had Jonathan Taylor in your fantasy team, make it easier on yourself. You can just do over-under here on prizepicks.com, the PrizePicks app. Check it out. We're having a lot of fun with it. You basically, here's the deal. You can group 2 players up.
Yep.
And you got to go over or under with one of them, over one, under the other. You can also group 3 or 4 players up, and the entries are higher, but you don't have to go over. If you have 4, you don't have to do 2 over, 2 under necessarily. You can do 3 over and 1 under. Just depends how they match up with quarterbacks and receivers. So you'll get a taste of it. You got to go check it out, though. PrizePicks.com, the PrizePicks app. Having a lot of fun with it in all different sports. And like Austin told you yesterday, including MMA. And if you get on there, which you should, check it out. Put the promo code in JAX. And you can get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. PrizePicks.com, the PrizePicks app. I've got the golf. Have you tried the golf one?
Come on, Brett. No, I haven't. But I wish I would have now because my picks are doing really well. So I feel like I would have had some pretty good entries.
Yeah, well, this one's it's a tricky one too because and I've got an entry in. So for instance, I got Brooks Koepka.
Yeah.
And he rallied late, in his round. And went better than 2 under par. And I've got Tiger not being better than 3 under par. I'm a Tiger guy.
You are a Tiger guy.
I just didn't think he'd bounce back and have a great round today. I thought that was such a good round yesterday. So that's an example of it. Tiger goes 2 under or worse. And Brooks Koepka, who already did finish 3 under, already clinched that part of the entry. And bingo. you're a winner. So
well, listen, you might as well go under on everybody in this course because everyone's putting up some great numbers right now.
Well, that's true. It feels that way. But here's the thing about golf. You got to be a little careful. They don't do it for 4 rounds. You know, they might do it for 3 rounds, but they don't do it for 4 rounds. And I thought actually the leader would be maybe even deeper than they are right now. It's 9 under par, and there's 4 guys tied at 9 under par at the Masters. I thought it may even be in double digits already the way this thing was tracking yesterday and earlier today. By the way, the Masters second round about to conclude in terms of darkness, not conclude in terms of holes played. They will finish on Saturday morning, Tiger Woods included. He won't get all the way around the course because of darkness here today. They should catch up with things tomorrow and hopefully get closer and closer to completing that third round. The weather looks good, so they will complete the event, it looks like, on Sunday as scheduled. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane. Once again, check out prizepicks.com, Prize Picks app. Have a little fun. Masters, golf, of course, football, college football, all different sports. You can check it out. This is a weird weekend in college football, man. The Pac-12, you just see that news?
Yeah, so Cal's got a new opponent.
They do, and they did it like today.
Yeah.
And they said, you know what, we're going to play on Sunday.
Yep.
So now all of a sudden you got a Sunday morning college football game.
I like that, man.
Well, it will be a noontime game here on the East Coast.
So what is that, like a 6 o'clock? I mean, they got to get up pretty early for that game.
It's at 9 o'clock Pacific.
It's going to be an early wake-up call for the Cal Bears.
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting last week, too. They rolled out USC last week against Arizona State.
Yeah.
And that was a noontime kick here. And it's got to be a TV play for Fox's coverage.
Mm-hmm.
But I was a little surprised by that because that's a 9 o'clock game on the West Coast, man. That's an early game.
I mean, what happened to Pac-12 after dark? Let's go. Pac-12 in the morning? We don't need that.
Pac-12 before dark.
Yeah, exactly.
College football, again, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. I heard Feinbaum on one of our updates. Again, there's some real concern about finishing the college football season. There's a little bit of talk about the college football playoff being pushed back.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be consistent with what I say here. You can see the cancellations. It's a bit alarming this week. I will admit that. It catches your attention. But they're going to get through this. There's not a doubt in my mind they will get through this. If you think of your world, your life, how it's been impacted by COVID-19 in 2020, there's a lot of things that you've had to adjust to. And I think sports is no different in that regard. The bigger difference between sports entities like the NBA, NFL, and even college football compared to the rest of us is there's not usually for the rest of us like billions of dollars at stake.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And so they are going to finish, in my opinion. I still firmly believe that. I think this is an interesting time because we are getting into the winter months. We're seeing this spike. We're seeing a spike here locally, so it doesn't take just colder weather, obviously, but we are seeing a spike, no doubt, in COVID-19. I just think they're going to find a path through it. It's a weird year. It's a strange year. They're playing the Masters in November. They will figure out a way to get it done. Nothing has changed my mind on that. And to be honest with you, Austin, I'm not really sure anything could change my mind on that.
No, listen, I agree. They will find a way to get this thing done. Without a doubt, 100% agree with you on here. But the problem arises a little bit is if we keep seeing these numbers go up and games keep getting canceled, like, yeah, I think there will be a college football playoff. But I also feel like you're going to have a certain number of games to get into that playoff. And what my worry is that if they push this thing back, well, now you're cutting into combine training time. Now you're cutting into all-star game time. And now you're cutting into players getting ready to get their bodies acclimated for the NFL. So my only worry is that if we delay this thing, because obviously right now it's showing that, COVID's going up in terms of the numbers. If this thing gets delayed, are you going to have a lot of talented guys opt out just so they can get ready for the next level of playing in the NFL?
Yeah, listen, I think we're seeing that a little bit in college football right now. We're seeing guys that might be hurt. We're seeing guys that might be a little disgruntled. Maybe it's Tamori and Terry, right? I think there was an Ole Miss player that got banged up and said, I'm going to get out of here and get ready for the draft. I might be mistaken on Ole Miss or not, but I think I saw that. So I think I think guys are going to make more and more business decisions. I really do. And so to your point, are we going to have the full rosters, the amount of talent that we thought we might get if we go deeper into January? Maybe not. I'm less convinced of that because I think the business decisions are big-time money decisions and important decisions. And so I think those guys are going to wrestle with some of that stuff. But that doesn't mean you can't finish.
Yeah.
And you might not get the greatest quality, although I really don't feel like the quality of sports has dropped off in the pandemic. I thought we had a good baseball season.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was unbelievable. I think the NBA playoffs, we had a lot of good action. We had unbelievable action. I don't think the finals and everything else were the marquee matchups we wanted, but that doesn't mean the play was poor. I think right now you look at these golf tournaments that we've had, some of the racing. I mean, you look at it all, I don't really see – now some guys have done better coming out of the pandemic than others, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought we might see the quality of some play suffer a bit more. Heck, you can make the case the quality of play in football is more entertaining than it's ever been because the defenses just don't look as strong.
No, without a doubt. But I also subscribe to the idea where if players, like I'm talking star players, I'm talking players that are on, possible national championship winning teams. If this thing gets delayed and they start opting out and get ready for the NFL, well, then I think you might actually have a problem. Because to me, college football, it's not like college basketball, right? Like, we're going to watch March Madness regardless of what schools are in it, regardless of the players. We can probably even barely name maybe 3 or 4 players in college basketball, but we tune in every single year because we just can't get enough of March Madness. I think with college football, it's different. It's the Mac Joneses, it's the Kyle Trasks, it's the Trevor Lawrences, it's the Justin Fields. Like, players make that. Now, don't get me wrong. Players can also get brought up, obviously, in bowl games and in college championship games as well. I mean, Tua Tagovailoa really made a name for himself during the national championship. So I'm not saying it's a perfect science, but I'm just saying where if you lose some of your star talent, some of your main attractions, that could definitely hurt your sport in terms of college football.
Yeah, again, I agree with you. I mean, everybody wants the best product out there. And college is a little bit different if this calendar does go into what you're talking about, Senior Bowl, Combine, events like that. And those would be interesting decisions. That will be the downside of it. I just don't know if there'll be a downside where you say, well, we're not going to play them. And I don't see that happening. And by the way, college basketball is starting up a couple weeks away from college hoops. And that will be another one to watch. And this is a little bit of an interesting zone to be in right now with COVID spiking and college basketball just starting.
Yeah.
So it felt like at least when the other sports were starting, we were, I don't know, fully beyond the big spikes, but it had tapered off a little bit. Now it feels like we've got this second surge that some people did predict in terms of positive tests. And now you might be starting your league year or starting your season in hoops on the college level and once again in the NBA. And you'll wonder how that might factor into maybe delaying or some more postponements. We're just getting used to cancellations and postponements in sports.
No, I mean,
that's just the way it is.
It is the way it is. And listen, and you know how I feel about it. I'm sure you feel the same way. Whatever happens this college basketball season, so be it. If you have to take away championship games, so be it. But I cannot go another year. And every sporting world, hear my cries. I cannot go another year without the NCAA tournament, Brent. All right, I need March Madness. I want to come in here with, TV lists, if you will, and watch it on my monitor, on my computer here, and I want to watch nonstop basketball action. Like, that's what we deserve, Brent. It's been a rough year, and I didn't want to think about another year without March Madness in that tournament. So hopefully that happens, that goes down. And if worse comes to worse, just do one giant tournament, double elimination. Every single university's up for grabs here, and then just keep on playing until you have one left standing.
Yeah, you went 0-2 that season. Wow, that was a heck of a year.
Hey, I'm just saying, man, drastic times call for drastic measures. But can you imagine just a nonstop, like we call it like a Kumite, which is from Bloodsport, if you ever watched that movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Winner take all, you know what I'm saying, and double elimination. Let's make that happen.
Very good. You'll be proud of me. I finished The Big Short yesterday.
What'd you think?
It was good.
So good, right?
The only thing I wanted, I don't know how long ago you watched it, but remember the guy Lawrence? Remember Dr. Burry there? He was kind of the guy that saw it all coming?
Yeah, he was played by Christian Bale, right?
Yes. Well, Lawrence, who I don't know who was played by, but he was like the boss man who was like said he was going to sue him and wanted his money back and was like, what are you doing,
Yeah.
I wanted him to kind of come. Like, I know he wrote him an email at the end and said, hey, you just deposited like $500 million. It worked, you know. But I kind of wanted that guy to come back and see his reaction to like the doc getting it right.
Exactly.
You know?
Yep.
But it was wild to see, and the portrayal of that is that you couldn't even tell watching the movie unless you were super paying attention that they had just hit it rich.
Yeah.
And they weren't even happy.
No, and it goes to show you,
because
man, it's a dog-eat-dog world.
Yeah,
absolutely. And by the way, Ryan Gosling's character, I mean, does it get any better than that guy? I mean, but I will say this, though, too. I mean, it's a great movie. I recommend everybody watches it. But did you read like the last credits of that movie? Not the last credits, but like the last kind of mention of that movie? Because it's a true story. So how scary is this? The guy that really predicted, you know, the housing crash, the housing market, has now like spent all his investments in water.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is kind of scary when you think about it.
And not only that, but it sounds like maybe, at least according to that movie, one of the final notes they said is the banks might be doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Although I don't know if we'll ever get – that was like a once-in-a-lifetimer.
Yeah.
In 08, it felt like so. That's a wild movie. Educational movie, though, for sure, especially if you kind of – our age and you live through it a bit. It's completely fascinating. But I also found out that I really should have taken like a business course in college because I don't understand like half the terms.
Well, I'll be honest, like it's kind of complicated, but then they also do a great job explaining it to you too.
Yeah, they do.
Shout out to like Anthony Bourdain's in it too. May rest in peace. He was awesome in it.
Yes, the way they did that movie was well done. It was really well done. Hey, when we come back, talk about COVID-19 impact. There are some high school football teams that have advanced in the playoffs without playing a game because of it. We'll explain. High school playoff night tonight. It's coming up next on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Pleasant temperatures tonight as skies become mostly clear. We'll drop into the upper 50s to lower 60s and a partly sunny Saturday. Highs in the low 80s inland, in the 70s at the beaches, and Sunday will be partly cloudy and warm. A few showers, but a lot of dry hours too, and highs in the low 80s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burris.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. It's Beard's Diamonds 40th anniversary sale. Save up to 40% off store-wide till November 30th.
What can you get done in 10 minutes? Run a mile? Maybe. Find a date online for this Friday? Easy. What about listing your home for sale? In 10 minutes? Can't be possible. With the new Instant List tool from Rex, it is. Rex Instant List allows you to value and list your home with an agent in as little as 10 minutes. With the real estate market getting hotter, time is money. Let's get started. Visit sellwithrex.com. Since 2015, Rex has provided sellers with over $23 million in savings and absolutely no sacrifice on service. Have 10 minutes to spare? Visit sellwithrex.com to get started. Or speak to a Rex agent at 833-739-4663. 833-739-4663. That's 833-739-4663.
License number, Florida, CQ 1057788.
Minimum fee may apply. Rex fully supports the principles of the Fair Housing Act and Equal Opportunity Act.
Men, are the effects of hypertension, diabetes, or prostate cancer preventing you from having a satisfying love life? In just one visit, the doctors at Prime Men's Medical Center can help you overcome ED or PE to regain your confidence and have you last longer in the bedroom. Name brand pills don't work for many men and can have serious side effects. The highly skilled physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center provide custom blended medications that are safe, effective, and work immediately, regardless of your medical history or age. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or your consultation is free. So, if you have problems in the bedroom, call now for a private consultation. One call, one visit, one simple solution to regain your love life. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now at 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105. That's 904-206-8105.
In the 4 decades that Beard's has been in business, never have they had a sale with discounts this big.
believe it, because Beard's Diamonds will never be beat on price.
Save up to 40% on everything store-wide.
Shop the largest inventory in North Florida.
All GIA certified loose diamonds, engagement rings, pendants, all designer settings, on sale up to 40% off.
Now through November 30th at the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
For more than 25 years, the potential for health improvement is seen with each patient that walks through our doors. Healthcare decisions don't have to be confusing. Make Island Doctors your medical practice.
My husband and I have been coming to Island Doctors for approximately 10 years, and we have been very happy with them, and we trust them.
Call us today and schedule a tour of one of our locations near you and take a look at our Best Wellness program. And welcome home.
Call 1-877-434-4676 or visit islanddoctors.com.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Hi, it's Brian Kilmeade for Phil Aiken Home Team Keller Williams Realty. I'm talking with Greg and Gary about their recent home sale. Why did you call Phil Aiken?
We called Phil Aiken because we had heard that his team will sell your house quickly and for more money than any of the other realtors in town.
Tell us what happened.
Phil Aiken and his A-team, they will make the process very easy. Sold in 4 days and got over asking price.
Well, that's great. So how did you think they were able to sell it so fast?
Because Phil has the buyers and they have the team that can get the job done quickly and stress-free.
What would you tell a friend who is looking for a real estate agent to sell their home?
Would I recommend Phil Aiken and the A-team? Absolutely.
Well, the results speak for themselves, right? Phil Aiken and his team have the systems and will even guarantee to sell your home in writing or buy it himself.
Yes, we got better results than we expected.
Thanks, Gary. Friends, hire the agent with the buyers looking to buy a home right now. Call Phil Aiken. Call 500-PHIL. That's 500-PHIL, or visit philhasthebuyers.com.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Boss, bad news. You know those ding-dong porch video cameras?
You mean the ones we love to hack?
Yeah. Well, now SafeTouch has doorbell cameras that are state-of-the-art and virtually hack-proof.
What? Hack-proof?
Yeah. Plus, they're motion-activated, and they have two-way audio, so homeowners can use the app from anywhere in the world with internet and talk with whoever's at their front door.
Oh, great. And I suppose they have high-def recording, too.
And, boss, right now during the holidays, SafeTouch Security is offering these video doorbells a $229 value for only $49.
$49? Well, so much for our porch pirate days.
Boss, this could ruin the holidays.
Oh, just another reason I hate SafeTouch.
Crooks know to stay away from SafeTouch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of SafeTouch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call SafeTouch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Appliances may work on your schedule, but they quit on theirs. At Atlantic Coast Appliance, we'll get your appliances back up and running in no time at all. Our factory-trained and certified technicians have repaired more than 100,000 appliances over the past 35 years, servicing Jacksonville to St. Augustine and Ponte Vedra with a 90-day warranty on parts and labor, plus a 100% satisfaction guarantee. When your appliances quit, we're ready to get started. For quality repair at a price that's fair, visit AtlanticCoastAppliance.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
Brent Martineau.
How many push-ups did you do in 3 minutes? Did you try the challenge?
Austin Lane.
I don't need lactic acid build up when I'm in fight camp. Brent, you kidding me? Take my word for it. I've been more than you.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Yeah, I definitely would
would like for us to be in a better position to give ourselves a chance to, win the game. They just played better than us in all three phases, and hats off to them. And we just gotta, take a couple of days off and then get back to work. No excuses. We have to be better as a team. We know that. Fix the mistakes and be better this week coming up.
You know who that is, Austin?
I'd go Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Did he tell you?
Easy money. No, he didn't tell me.
He didn't.
No,
Okay.
no, come on, it's pretty obvious, Brent.
Yeah, that was very good.
I mean, who else would you interview right now from the Tennessee Titans besides Derrick Henry?
Tannehill. I was a little surprised
Ryan
A.J. Brown
Tannehill.
did nothing for them. You know what's funny? It's like go back and watch Twitter, and that first drive was like, bam, it was unbelievable. Boom, boom, boom. And they're like, man, this offense, fun to watch. Everybody on Twitter, this offense, oh, man, they really click at Arthur Smith, and they got so many weapons, and boom, boom, boom. And they never scored again.
Humble yourselves. Yep. Time to humble yourselves a little bit.
They never scored again. And, again, the Colts defense is good. I just don't think people – this would be a fun topic. We should think about this one next week. Think about teams that, like, when I say the Colts defense is good, you're like, the Colts? Are you serious? Right?
Yep.
Like, think about teams in sports that are like that, and you just don't associate maybe an identity with them that they really are now just because they've never been.
Hey, Brent, I think the Seahawks defense is absolutely trash.
Yeah, that's a good one too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Seahawks are like that. The difference a little bit in the Seahawks for me is that Russell Wilson has now been the guy for like a handful of years.
He has.
So it's not like they've just shifted into a good offense.
No, I hear you, but you always think of like Seattle, you think of usually defense too, though.
Yeah, that's fair. Fair enough. All right. Hey, big night of high school football around here. Challenging night for the Action Sports Jacks team. But it will still be the Friday Night Blitz tonight at 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:20 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. And we have the Blitz Scoreboard Show coming up tonight right here on ESPN 690. And you got to check it out. If you haven't done it yet, check it out. We'll show you some video and give you updates on scores from all the playoff action. There's like 26 teams home tonight in playoff games. That's on the Blitz Scoreboard Show, but you really want to check it out on the social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. That's at 9 o'clock until 10 o'clock. Newest show in town. We're having a blast with it. By the way, we'll announce our ESPN 690 Athlete of the Week, and the vote is insane for the Athlete of the Week. In fact, Kuz, just a reminder, that thing closes at 6 o'clock, and it's really tight. And there's over 30,000 votes for the Athlete of the Week. So we've got to keep an eye on that, and we'll talk about it. We'll announce the winner later on tonight. Let's bring in Action Sports Jack Stuart Weber. He handles a lot of the high school duties for us. He's back from the Rocky Mountains, and hopefully not a Rocky Mountain High.
No, I'm good.
All right, good. How you doing? How was the flight?
It was good. Yeah, nice, quick non-stopper. Shout out Southwest. Love that non-stopper to Denver.
Yeah, gotta like it.
Did you go snowboarding or skiing?
You had a little Spurrier in you right there.
Yep. Just gotta get right through it. Yep. No, I did not, unfortunately, get to go skiing as really only one mountain was open at that point. Keystone was about the only resort open, and they only had like 4 runs, so it really wouldn't have been worth it to go.
Yeah, you don't have to go all the way down to Denver just to go to Keystone. I mean, it's just like an hour and a half down the road.
Yeah, Keystone
no
Heights.
there either.
They'll be playing at Bradford tonight as we switch the attention back to high school football.
Very good. We've got we're all loaded up. There's so many teams that are home, but we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about some of the cancellations. COVID-19. Nice says, hey, we've got too many folks with COVID. We can't play. Game over. Oakleaf wins. They move on. They'll play Bartram next week. Meanwhile, Baker County, the same thing. They will advance without playing. Welcome to 2020 high school football season. Now, Mandarin and Sandalwood, they have moved for a different reason. I think it's an officiating reason. They've moved their game to Monday. They will play. Outside of that, there's a ton of teams in action, Stuart.
Yeah, the Mandarin Sandalwood one was originally going to be a Thursday night game, but then the tropical storm that I'm so proud of everyone for braving it through that.
Yes.
The tropical storm really, it canceled all after-school activities, and so playoff games are included in that. And so they had to move it, and then obviously by Friday, I mean, you said it, 26 teams are home. Therefore, a lot of officials are being used in all those home games, and thus kind of run out of officials, and everyone else already had one. You didn't have one, so you got to play on Monday. But, no, the Friday night slate here tonight is going to be terrific. I mean, you talk about we're finally at the point where it's win or loss, where it actually matters, So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see that atmosphere kind of ratchet up a little bit, and we even saw it a little bit last week in the handful of playoff games that we got to go out to on November 6th. So, I mean, the playoff atmosphere is just so different for these high school kids who now can finally say, all right, we're in the bracket. Now we know what we got to do. We got to go out there and win in advance.
Yeah, I think that's the fascinating part of this season is I've asked so many coaches who have come on the Blitz Scoreboard show or we've talked to, throughout the season anyway, is, hey, these games, I hesitate to say don't matter, but they really don't if you were 0-9 or 9-0, it really doesn't make a difference right now. And so do you have that second switch to turn on? The second season has begun, but everything counts now. And that sense of urgency that all of a sudden has to flip. I wonder if it feels different. And only the teams could speak for that. The coaches could speak for that. But you got to wonder if it feels a little bit different because there's been no, this big rush to win a district championship or get a runner-up or see the standings. That just hasn't been the case this year, Stuart. So I wonder the mentality of teams and if they'll be able to just, flip it on. It's go time. It's the playoffs.
Funny thing is, we do have some 9-0 versus 0-9 matchups. That does happen tonight in a couple of the games where you have a winless team against an undefeated team, but you have no idea what that's going to mean. I mean, you look at Fort White, who was winless going into the postseason, and they won a play-in game last week out there in Columbia County. So that's certainly part of it. I think the fun part for me, what I'm most excited about, is rematches. And we mentioned Mandarin Sandalwood. Obviously, that's the big one up in 8A. But, you talk about West Nassau and Fernandina Beach, a 56-50 double overtime thriller the first time around. And now West Nassau, who probably was favored going into that game if anybody kept those sort of numbers on high school football. I don't think they do. I hope they don't. Anyhow, West Nassau was probably favored going into that one, and Fernandina Beach said, no, you're on our home field. We're going to show you what it's all about. The Pirates came out and won. And now you get that rematch in the playoffs, which is just so cool that, you have this great rivalry game as a rematch in the postseason. And certainly there's going to be some fireworks in that one. You talk about Atlantic Coast and Fletcher playing again tonight. And, it's an easy thing. You just got to stop Miles Montgomery, right? The guy who ran for 2,000 yards last year. Well, they did it for a half in the regular season, and then he just went off in the second half. So that's certainly something to keep an eye on is what do these coaching staffs and players learn from the first time around where they now get a chance to kind of exact some revenge.
Yeah, Baldwin Trinity, by the way, a good one as well. Baldwin's had such a nice year. They get Trinity in the first round. Trinity's defense has been lights out the last month. So we've got some really good matchups.
So is Baldwin's too.
Yeah, and it should be a low-scoring affair there. Paxton makes the playoffs for the first time in 65 years. They'll play a playoff game. That's a cool story.
Yeah, very cool story. And that's a big part of it, too, is that we've said it. Everyone who wanted to make the postseason, and that's every team but one in our local area that, opted in earlier, not talking about the teams that had to kind of bow out due to COVID reasons and contact tracing and all that sort of stuff. But every team that wanted to make the postseason is getting that taste and getting that chance to have their players, try out the playoff experience. So that's going to be really cool for those Paxton players. And shoot, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. You're going to have these memories for years to come where you can say, all right, well, remember when we strapped up their helmets and played that playoff game? And they're going to be able to talk about that for a long time, which is really cool.
Yeah, the first one to do it in 65 years for them. So very good. All right, Stuart Weber, it'll be an interesting Friday Night Blitz. I'll be hosting it from the house tonight, and we'll be gathering some games and put it all together for a half-hour edition of the Blitz. Go unpack your suitcase or something.
I call it the chicken salad edition of the Blitz, and it's going to be a good one because everybody loves chicken salad.
Absolutely. Won't make the other part of that reference. All right, thanks, man. We'll talk to you.
You got it.
A little bit later on. We're going to have everybody involved in the Blitz tonight, by the way. I think we're going to put Bachman and Borish and Tanika Hughes on a game.
Cool.
We got Stewart jumping in, Marcel Robinson jumping in. So the Blitz will be fun. We have to be a little bit creative on the TV side to pull it off. Meanwhile, on the radio side, we will have the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Koo's hanging around for that. 9 to 10 o'clock again, we'll announce our ESPN 690 Athlete of the Week, and we'll have all the scores and updates. It matters now, man. It's playoff football. Is it snowing in Wisconsin for playoff football right now?
Yeah, it's snowing. They haven't quite started playoffs yet. Iowa Scandinavia, I think, was undefeated, so my school is doing very well right now, yeah. But yeah, we should have some snow games coming up. My mom actually sent me a picture this morning of the drive to my grandma's house, and it looks pretty cool. I'll be sure to text that over to you as well.
Okay. Hey, do you be honest now? Nobody from Iola Scandinavia is listening.
You'd be surprised, but okay.
Hopefully they are. But do you follow how well they do? Still, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's definitely been a long time. I definitely do, though. Usually, I go back and forth with my old coach who still coaches there. We haven't been that talkative this year just because with COVID and stuff, and it's been kind of, I'm sure he's a busy man himself. But, I always try to ask my friends, hey, how the T-Birds doing, things like that. So I try to keep a close eye on everything.
Yeah, I asked that question because we are the old East Providence High School. They're building a brand-new school.
Okay.
And, so they're doing some things and actually just bought a brick that you put your name on in your class, to help support the cause. And,
yeah.
And I bought my buddy one, too, and stuff. So, and my sister went there, and so I bought her one. They don't even know it yet, so hopefully they're not listening to the show. But so it just got me thinking, but if you had asked me the same question, I have no idea how good our football team is.
Really?
I have no idea how good our baseball team is.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the football and baseball coaches are.
Yeah.
And they're probably people I went to school with.
Yeah.
Because, we're at that age, right? So it's a weird thing. I have no ties to the football program, so it's not like they should keep in touch. But I say this a lot about high schools in this area because there is so much talent that they produce. I think one of the mistakes high schools make are keeping in touch with the alumni. Any alumni. Doesn't have to mean you were a great player. Heck, I could have been the worst kid on the team, but I might now be a millionaire and might be able to give you money toward your program.
Without a doubt.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not, but
yeah.
you get my point. I think that's one of the big mistakes, and a lot of that's because of the turnover, ADs and coaches and stuff. But, it doesn't matter how much turnover there is in college. How often does Murray State call you around, fundraising time? I can tell you Ashland University knows my number.
Yeah,
and they call all the time.
That's a good point, man. It's a really good point. High schools don't really reach out that much. And you know what? Looking back on it, I probably should make some kind of contribution eventually because obviously that's where I got my knack for football. And real quick, too, a shout out to Kristen Welsh. She was the player that we used to talk about a little bit on the show, who was from my high school. He was actually my water boy. Went to Iowa as a middle linebacker, went undrafted, got signed by the Ravens, actually got promoted now to the active roster. So he's a weak side linebacker now for the Baltimore Ravens. Really cool honor for him.
Yeah, that is great.
We're all proud
awesome.
of him back
good,
home. So.
Good for him. Congratulations to him on a very good team.
Yeah.
By the way. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Give me one thing for the weekend. It's on the way on ESPN 690.
For the ones standing guard. For the eagle-eyed. For the knights in shining armor. And for all those who support them. We are Grainger, your experienced safety partner, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, committed to helping keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com/safety, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Glenn Levine, a board-certified civil trial lawyer. That means the Florida bars recognize me as an expert in the field of civil trial. As a trial lawyer, I'm trained to investigate every aspect of your case. If you've been involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call me, Glenn Levine, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville. Transmission problems? Call Action Transmission Specialists on Merrill Road, where you get the work done right the first time by the experts. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. Our techs can service all makes and models, and we provide a nationwide warranty, so you have the peace of mind knowing we solve your transmission troubles fairly and honestly and guaranteed nationwide. Call us at Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road, where quality counts. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Diamonds Direct's doing something we've never done before. A spectacular 7-day store-wide event with 20% off and more. Virtually everything. It's all next week, November 16th through the 22nd. This is the pre-holiday sale everyone waits for. Taken to a whole new level for 2020. Get 20% off all designer and fashion jewelry, all eternity bands, earrings, bracelets, bigger selection, lowest prices, special incentive, an extraordinary sale for an extraordinary year. November 16th through 22nd only, and only at Diamonds Direct.
Off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt.
The First Coast is booming. With interest rates at historic lows, there has never been a better time to call Brandon Ponsel and his network of local experts at Jags Coastal Homes. You can visit them at jagscoastalhomes.com or call them today at 904-206-9480 and mention ESPN 690 to receive up to $2,500 towards your closing cost. Need to sell? Powered by the unparalleled technology of EXP, Brandon will guarantee the sale of your home in under 60 days, or he'll sell it for free. The First Coast market is on the move. Are you?
Nothing is certain except death and taxes. And your appliance is breaking down as soon as they're out of warranty. At Atlantic Coast Appliance, we can't help with the first two, but we've got the third one covered. Our factory-trained and certified technicians have been repairing appliances for more than 35 years, with a 90-day warranty on parts and labor and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For quality repair at a price that's fair, trust Atlantic Coast Appliance. AtlanticCoastAppliance.com. That's AtlanticCoastAppliance.com.
Hi, it's Nathan from Gordon Chevy in Orange Park. Used car values are at an all-time high, and new car prices have never been lower. This is a win-win for you because you get a great deal on a new car and a great value on your trade-in. It's like all the stars are in alignment. Listen, we'd love to show you a new Chevy, and we want your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Stop in today and let us show you how good it gets. Gordon Chevy, South Orange Park, on the money-saving end of Landing, or online at gordonchevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Friday the 13th. I'm Jake Mitchell. Thursday Night Football last night, Phillip Rivers and the Colts took the Titans to the woodshed, leaving the teams tied for first place in the AFC South. Mike Vrabel may have seen this coming as he talked about how hard it is to prepare on a short week.
I think recovery and preparation are two things that we've talked about. Being able to try to recover from a game a few days ago, but also get into the preparation mode. I think those are the two biggest things that we can do on a short week is try to hammer home the recovery and try to get them as much rest as we can, but also be able to practice and work and function.
In baseball, the postseason awards are being handed out, and the MVP in the AL is White Sox first baseman Jose Abreu. Braves' Freddie Freeman takes home the NL MVP. You're working from home and want to listen to ESPN? Tell your smart speaker to play ESPN 690.
Hey, it's Coos from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Now, I know there's a ton of ways you can listen to the show, but did you know one of the ways is through a smart speaker? Yes, the Google Home, the Amazon Alexa. It's pretty easy to do. Just tell either of them to play ESPN 690. Try it out weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m., and you can listen to Action Sports Jax.
I think you see the younger guys, though. I mean, obviously, the youth of the team is out there. It's not an excuse, obviously. How I'm not going to go down that road. I think it's the same thing that you battle all the time. I've had many, young guys play for me, and with third-round picks or fifth-round picks or whatever it may be. And when you're winning, there's obviously more patience.
That is true, and the Jaguars are not winning. 7 in a row they've lost. They play the Packers as 2-touchdown underdogs coming up on Sunday. By the way, that game will be on Fox 30 at 1 o'clock. We've changed a bunch around this weekend of our normal TV schedule because of the Masters. There will be no SEC tonight, tomorrow night. We will have Action Sports Jax primetime, 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47. Sunday morning, we will do Countdown to Kickoff at 10 a.m., on Fox 30, followed by Jags Weekend at 10:30. And then the game at 1 o'clock, Green Bay and the Jags on Fox 30 as well. And then we'll have a post-game show and everything else to follow. So you can keep it locked to CBS 47 and Fox 30 for football and golf all weekend long on your TV. Meanwhile, here on ESPN 690, the Florida State Seminoles will play tomorrow night against NC State. You can listen to that game right here on ESPN 690, your home for Florida State football and basketball. Basketball just around the corner. Brent Martineau here at home to finish off a week. It's been a fun week. Austin Lane back in the Action Sports Jax studios. Coos has been back with us here this week as well, so we appreciate his work. Busy weekend ahead, chill weekend ahead. What you got?
Coos, you going first or my?
I can go first.
What
I
you
have
got,
a very
man?
busy weekend of waiting for my new Xbox to get here.
Oh, here it comes. You still haven't got it yet.
No, it still says pending. It hasn't charged. It was supposed to be here on Thursday.
Well, step your Karen game up a little bit and get some answers, man. It's ridiculous.
The problem is because I'm probably not the only one going through this. When you call the Microsoft line,
sure.
Yeah, you're waiting for a while.
I got you.
Hey, what you got, Austin? Anything?
Yeah, man. So tomorrow, hey, Wisconsin's playing Michigan last time I checked. Won't be able to watch that game because I have to drive 2.5 hours for some family photos. So
you got family photos and you got to drive 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Like St. Augustine,
Listen,
Island,
beautiful
river.
Listen, I got to. It's kind of like a Tarantino movie where I told you what I was doing first, and now here's why it's happening like the way it's happening. So my mom, a couple years ago, I guess it would have been 2 years ago for our anniversary, ended up getting my wife and I, just kind of like photos or whatever. So like the people that had done our engagement photos and our wedding photos, we have another session with them. So with COVID and everything like that, it's super hard to schedule it. And for whatever reason, they're like on the outskirts of like kind of by Tampa a little bit. So me and the little man got to drive and meet my wife there to take the photos. So yeah.
All right.
I'm super pumped up about it.
What you got? Give me one thing. You'll be doing pictures, so that's give me one
photos,
thing.
Brent. Yeah, that's one thing, man. What else do you want me to tell you? There's fights too. Hopefully I'll get back in time to watch those. I don't know how the day is gonna go. I'm not sure what's gonna happen here, but yeah.
At least it's not like a sunrise photo stash.
Yeah, I have to leave Jacksonville by 1, so it must be like a dawn kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely like a sunset.
I think they call that the golden hour, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so that's the name of the
Casey.
Casey.
Weather, I think.
Yeah, well, and it's the Casey Musgraves album. That's why I know that. So real quick, UFC Fight Night. It's definitely the hardcore MMA's card, but real quick though, main event: Rafael dos Anjos taking on Paul Felder. The cool thing about Paul Felder, he's one of the best commentators actually on the UFC Fight team. Hasn't fought in a while. He's taking this fight on 3 days' notice, because the other opponent backed out. So literally, he was going to go from calling the fight to now actually fighting in the main event. So a really cool story to follow. He ended up making weight and everything like that, so he's good to go. They call him the Irish Dragon. Fights out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and with Rufus Sport. A really great fighter to watch. Great striker. Throws a lot of spinning back stuff. Taking on Rafael dos Anjos, a guy who's been up and down a little bit. But I'm just going to watch this from the fact that this guy was literally getting ready to call a fight 3 days ago, and now he's fighting in it.
That's pretty cool. He's like UCLA and Cal.
Exactly. Good call.
Yeah, and that actually happens in fighting more often than...
Oh, all the time.
Guys change right at the last second.
All the time.
I'm going to do this. Here's a give me one thing, okay?
Yep.
I still think one of the cool stories this weekend is Kim Ng, the GM for the Marlins. So
Without
I was
a
go
doubt.
there, but we talked about it a little bit earlier. And so, is Bill Belichick starting to get, when people question a little bit because you're not doing well for the first time in like forever, is Bill Belichick about to go off on somebody? So,
is he going to snap?
Hey, Billy, give me one thing.
Oh, wow, Billy.
And just give me like a tirade. Like people are asking about like his draft picks now, and he's like, his answer was like, "What? I think our record's pretty good the last 20 years." You know?
Yeah.
Hey, he's got a ton of evidence, a great resume, but because you're not great and you don't look very good, and to be honest with you, they didn't. Even though they won the other night, they don't look like a good team. People ask these kind of questions. Bill hasn't been asked these kind of questions in like 2 decades.
You're right.
So I want to see him snap.
You just want to sit back and watch the world crumble, Brent.
Yeah. Hey, just go catch passes from Kyler Murray. Do you see this? DeAndre Hopkins thinks receivers should get yards for defensive pass interference.
Absolutely. Let's
Come
go.
on.
Hey, whatever DeAndre Hopkins wants, DeAndre Hopkins gets, all right?
That would be dumb.
I know. I kind of agree with you a little
All
bit.
right.
But I can't be too mad at him because he obviously makes Kyler Murray better.
Hey, you guys have a good weekend.
You too, man.
Thanks, Coos. And we'll see you tonight on the Blitz Scoreboard Show at 9 o'clock. Live, local, loud coming up next. And enjoy the Masters weekend as well, everybody.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States.